and I have all of this beautiful scrapbooking paper that's cut to size left over. So I thought I'd
Oh,
make another book out of
oh,
these.
perfect. I love those
Little,
papers.
maybe do a little book. And I'm
Oh,
going to do the Coptic stitch.
oh, I love this stitch. Yes, you can show us at the time.
Yes.
And what kind of trash do you have?
Oh, I have lots of trash to share. I have a box from some drink mix, and I have old cards, and I have fabrics and carpet tape to make
Ooh.
Wow.
streamers and stickers. And what else do I have? I have some packing tape that didn't work.
Did you push the live?
I don't think so. We're not showing up on YouTube.
Not yet. Push the live again.
Uh, I am in live chat and I see us in
There
the.
we are.
I am in
Oh,
live
okay.
chat.
Okay, it just
I
came up.
see us in
Delay. There
the.
was a delay.
There we are.
Yes, it is a delay.
Okay, it just came up.
Here. In Jen is here. Hi, Jen. How are you, my dear? Welcome again.
There. We're all here now.
Okay, so now to my trash. I'm a trashy girl. So I've been saving this vitamin crystal, well, not crystal, but glass jars. And I've been taking out the sticker today. And what I want to do with the glass and some like
My tape.
oh, candles, electric candles, I want to do something or the sort like a lamp. And I have all my wipes that I've been saving, of course, with paint. So I might must do something to the lamp here, like with wire or something. That's my goal. But Maxi came back from outside and found this. So from everything he found, I took these two. So either I am going to do like, of course, with a candle inside or for a candle, I am going to do either a fungus or a surface for a real candle. So we can have two candles here. So
And you
I
can use your candles on your when you have to have your blackouts.
oh yes, oh yes, but we don't have a lot of blackouts. That's something that it's not. I bought after 14 years. I bought an emergency lamp
Oh, okay.
just because it was on sale. So yes, so we can talk. Uh, some of you want to be first, bigger. Let's see. Okay, this is me. Let's put Beth bigger now.
Okay.
Hello,
And
Belinda. Belinda joined us.
Well,
hi,
great.
Belinda. How are you, dear? Hi, hi.
Hi, Belinda. I am recycling some papers that from scrapbooking papers from a book that I made last week. I made a bigger book, and I have all this beautiful scrapbooking paper left over. So I'm going to make a mini journal, a little mini book, and it's 4.5 by 4.5 because that's the size of my paper. And I'm going to cut it to size and then I'm going to put some holes in it, and then I'm going to get ready to do a Coptic style slip knot stitch in it,
Perfect.
and that I like to do. So I'm just cutting the paper right this minute, and I can make a big fat book because I think I can get two out of this. Woohoo! And yeah, it's going to be a really, really, really nice book. And it's 4.5 is the size of my papers. So here we go. We're cutting.
Perfect. And you said that you are going to do which stitch?
It's a Coptic stitch. It's a slip knot. It's a slip knot style Coptic stitch.
Wow.
Uh, cop. There's a there's a professional Coptic stitch that I can show you the correct. I can do the real Coptic stitch. So I'll do the real one today. I usually do the slip knot, which is a little quicker, but I can do the real one, and I'll show you too. It's something that you do over and over. It's a redundant style slip stitch, and it's real
Okay.
easy. It's real easy, and it leaves a beautiful little pattern on the back side of your uh, book, and it's really cool. So as soon as I get my paper cut up, I will be doing that stitch.
Perfect. Tell us, let us know. So I am
Yep.
going to put you
Oh,
bigger
I will. I will.
than.
It's easy. I will.
Okay. So in the meantime, I'm going to go to Anne. So I
Okay.
want to know
I
what are you
um
doing?
I grabbed a box from some drink mix that my husband had, and I have put not packing tape, carpet tape. It's industrial strength double-sided tape on it, which is one of my favorite things to do because it's super fast. And this cover is actually a brayer off sheet that I did on a thin catalog page. And if you can see it, when you rip it, there's nothing to that page. But by the time it gets all the layers of paint on it, it's a good sturdy piece of paper now.
Yes.
So that all I did was I put the carpet tape down on here. You have to be careful with it because once you stick it, baby, it is stuck. And then laid the paper down and it's trimmed so it folds over. And I kept the other side of the box, this piece. See, it's calorie free. It will be a calorie free box. Will become where I use it for binding. In other words, the pages will be bound to this piece and then inset. So that's what I'm doing right now. But I also found I wanted to show you another
Yes.
use for carpet tape, which is
Oh,
it, and that is I have this ribbon that I love and I wanted to put in my boho journal, but it will not glue down. It will not double stick tape down, and it's a stinker to sew on. So I put it on the double-sided tape so that I can use it. And I
okay.
also put so now it's just a sturdy, permanent washi tape sort of thing here.
Perfect.
And I also did it with I had a scrap of it wasn't a scrap, it was a piece of cotton that got stained
Uh-huh.
um in storage. So I took it out and tea dyed it or
Oh
coffee dyed
wow.
it. I can't
Mm.
remember which I did, honestly, but I wasn't gonna throw it out. But now I'll be able to use it to adhere it to something. You know how often the glue will seep through a fabric, no matter I've tried every glue on the planet, and sometimes it just happens that way. So that's what I'm working on, and somewhere around here, but I seem to have lost it. I also took I get these 2.5 inch or 2.25 inch, either one, strips of fabric, and you use them for quilts and things. And see, this is like a scrap here, and
Uh-huh.
they're really nice fabrics often, but they're scraps. So I just laid them down on the double stick tape, and then I
So
have a roll. Oh, it's
you
like a
put you put some glue on the part that the double side tape It's
No, no,
not.
not with this stuff. You don't have to. See, it has a sticker on one side and it has a
Yes,
sticker on the other side. So you just peel it off
yes.
and put the fabric down. And then when I'm ready to adhere it, I'll pull off this side.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And
No,
it will
I know
stick.
that.
It's sticky enough. You don't need the extra
You,
glue.
you don't
No, this
have
is
that.
industrial strength. I've done it on the composition notebooks, and
That's
once it's
why.
down, it's down. It's good and down.
I see.
So if I can find my fabric when I had it here a
Okay.
minute ago, I
So
don't know what to do.
Lisa is here. I couldn't say hi because Anne was talking. So let's say
Hello,
hi
Lisa.
to Lisa. And anyone who want to play with us
Ah,
in the
there it is.
house can do it. But if you want to play with us in the in the internet, you can come. I will give you the link and you can come with us. Okay, so let's
I,
put me
I
to
found the
explain.
fabric one. If you want me to show it,
Yes, please.
so there's the
Wow.
roll. And yes, Lisa, it's basically carpet tape, is what you Google. And
Oh, it's carpet tape.
yeah, it's called carpet tape. It's for putting carpets down. Sometimes they use it for some vinyl
Oh,
flooring,
oh,
but see, now I
yeah.
have this roll when I want to put fabric on the edge of a
Yes,
page.
you have your own fabric washi tape.
Exactly, but it is permanent washi, not temporary.
Not the washi that you can accommodate then.
Okay,
It's
Miriam, thank
it's
you.
Superman tape.
Yeah, Superman tape, exactly. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah. Well, let's see what I am doing. I have now 4 clean ones. Let's see how I clean the remaining one. So what I did is to put some water and to try to peel it as much as I can first. Never mind if that happened, it's okay. But I want to expose the non-plastic paper. So the first layer is plasticky, and the second one that mostly is stays in the jar is not. So I tried with heat, but this kind of sticker didn't read the memo, so she didn't act as we wanted. So I tried another method, and I will show you in a minute. Let me peel everything I can first. So now I have the paper, only paper, not plasticky paper. And then I put some more water until everything have water. You see it change color. And I grab some sandpaper and I start. This sandpaper I did use a lot, so it's a little, I need to change it if I want to be really. But anyway, grab some wipey and it's working. It's cleaning. So let's do this, that it's the last one, and then I am going to do something else. So for the time being, let's put every one of that. Did you trim with rotary cutter? Ask Lisa to, I think to Anne. Anne,
Yeah,
did you trim it with the rotary cutter?
not the tape. No, I wouldn't use. Well, I could actually. Now that I think about it, you can go to like Harbor Freight places like that. You can get rotary cutting blades that are made for carpet, so that might work. But the fabrics come on a roll. The 2.5-inch ones, they come on a roll already that size. But the tape, I usually cut it after I have something adhered to it because
They
then it cuts much easier.
I saw in gym or think places like that, even in Amazon, a tape that it's totally transparent, and they show us and they say that it's like hard to hard. It seems to be something really sturdy. Uh, it's a silicone tape.
Uh,
Maybe that could work too.
Maybe I've never tried that. I've tried
Have you
regular
tried the
packing tape for
regular one
things.
and it works or not? The regular one.
Oh, the regular one, what?
The regular one, double sided tape.
Some of it does work better than others. A lot of it's not considered permanent. So,
Okay.
um, it oftentimes doesn't work for very long. So it
Okay.
kind of depends on what you're doing with it.
I'll
And
put that.
yeah, and it won't hold heavier things like, for instance, heavier cotton fabric, or that sort of thing. It just won't hold it
Maybe
on.
maybe it's good to put for hems or something like that until you sew. It will sustain a little bit
Maybe.
an idea.
Yeah, I use honestly, sewing. I have some sewing double-sided tape.
Yes, I
That
have to.
Yeah, that's made for basting things, and I have also lots of times used a glue stick for basting things when I'm sewing.
But that was made for where my scissor. One goes there, and the other one goes here. Maybe it's good for the bud, but if you want to stick it on paper, maybe it don't work. This
Yeah,
one.
yeah. It depends on the materials, I think, more than anything.
Yes.
What will work and what won't work. And sometimes you just have to experiment, because I find it's different brand by brand too.
Yes. Yes, that's right too.
Like
But it's a,
cheaper double-sided tape doesn't work as well as, I think, just the Scotch brand double-sided tape that's on a roll.
oh yeah.
But it
Well,
kind of
I,
depends
I
if you're.
only I only do cheap,
Yeah,
so that's
like
what important to me.
Miriam, was that you that said you don't plan to have your artwork outlive you?
Yes,
Yeah,
was me. It was me.
that's very true. So, it just depends on what you're trying to do, I think, whether one works better for you than the other.
Let's see. Let's see what I am going to do now because I am trying as we speak. That's it. Let's peel it.
But if you buy carpet tape, just a generic brand from like a hardware store, it's
Yes.
cheaper than extra strength craft double-sided tape
Oh,
by the yard.
okay. Okay.
Because, it's like the rotary cutting blades at Harbor Freight is what I found, and they're made for carpet installers. They work really well on cottons, but they don't work well on silk. So, it just kind of depends on what you're doing. That's all.
Yeah.
It's cheaper, but
So we have here the first try. We have our fabric washi tape made with wipes that we save trash and double sided regular tape, and it wears some plastic at least, so it worked. I don't know how much time it will, but for now it's working.
Sometimes that's all we want, right?
Yes, yes.
Sometimes that's all you want is just do it now.
So far is good, said one that jumped from the eighth floor when I arrived to the third. So far, so good. Well, I want to do more here. Let's see. Because I want for the lid, hold the lid.
Yeah, I'm gonna set that aside.
Okay, let's see if it's enough. I think so. Now I need to trace it. Let's trace it like that. It will be
If you
enough.
make friends with
It's
a
not.
flooring installer, they might just give you their end rolls because they oftentimes throw them away. They don't want to monkey with a roll that only has a yard or two left of tape or whatever.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
a good
Because they
idea.
don't, it just takes them more time to try to trim it up or whatever. They just want it big. Sometimes you got to make friends with people.
People? No, thank you.
I got friends in high places.
That's why I swear by my buy nothing groups because, man, people give you the greatest things.
It's a little difficult to peel it. Like
To peel
the
it.
backing didn't want to, doesn't want to stay put. But
You're having trouble peeling the tape, Miriam?
yes, yes, the backing of the tape comes with the white part.
Yeah. If you cut your tape a little bit longer than the piece you're trying to adhere it to, you
No,
can
yes,
oftentimes use a pin to pull it up.
I am using a toothpick now,
Uh,
but
Yeah.
in a on paper, it's I can separate sooner the two of them. Here it's a little bit, but it's okay. It's
you're
the
making it work.
price you need to pay
The small prize.
to experiment.
Kim's in, Kim's in the room. Hi, Kim.
That
Hello, Kim. I thought you were eating turkey today.
how are you? Don't type with the mouth full.
Yeah. Don't talk with. Don't type and talk with your mouth full, huh? Are you home? Are you home yet, Kim? Are you still out and about? I've been enjoying all your pictures that
They're
you've been
beautiful, aren't
posting.
they?
Oh yes, how beautiful. So this is my stream. We are Kim's stream.
Are you going to be back next week? Okay. Let's see. What colors should we use?
Kim's pictures make me want to visit Canada even more.
Oh yes.
It's a big, beautiful country.
Mm-hmm. Seems to be. Okay. So let's complete with what we have here. Okay, now we are going to do that, 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 that. Some of you want to be bigger?
Um,
Let me know.
I think I'm big enough, Miriam.
I'm trying to lose weight. It's
Okay,
not working.
okay, that's not
Okay,
what.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go big.
Okay, let's put on big.
No, Beth.
No, Beth.
Ah, Beth,
I'm
sorry.
poking holes. I might shed blood, so we don't want to go big right now.
Okay, okay. In Beth, you
Okay.
are
I went ahead and I punched holes in all my papers, and I used my crimping hole punch. It's like the big, what's the big crocodile punch? But this thing works just as good, and you can do like 4 or 5 pages at a time, and so it's easier than just a regular hole puncher, but you use what you have. Okay, so
mhm,
and they're a little wonky, they're not quite exact, but they're close enough. So I've got 2 holes here, and I've chosen to do 2 holes. You can do 6 holes if you want. You can do as many holes as you want. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need 2 embroidery needles. Let's see if I got another one over here. Yes. And the blunt tip are really good, the ones that aren't too sharp. And those are the really good ones to use. And I've got 2 of those, so that I can use those and put the sharp one back. So I've got my thread, and it's folded in half, and I'm using embroidery thread. You can use wax linen. You can use just about anything you want. And this one has a knot in it, so I'll get the next one. And I'm using, um, I start off with 2 arm lengths. I go an arm length away from my chest, and that's like almost about a yard. And then I do another arm length, and I have about, another 12 inches on that. So I divide it in half, but I'm not going to cut it. So you've got plenty of thread to do a pretty big book. So the first step I'm going to do is to take my loop and go through the very first page of my book, and I put it on my embroidery needle just to get the loop through there, and then I take it off, and I'm going to take and put my open ends through the loop to create a base. And so there's my very first stitch. Easy
mhm,
peasy. So the next step is you're going to take and turn the page towards you. And now we're going to take both of our threads, and we're going to put them on the embroidery needles. And we're going to use 2 embroidery needles. And this takes it's
What
it's
did I do?
it's busy, but it leaves it with a beautiful stitch at the end. Okay, it
why
does.
two? Two at the same place or one in each
one
end?
one tail in each needle, embroidery needle. I'm using a blunt needle, big eyes. So I've got 2 strands that lead back down towards the very first page where I looped it through the very first, I looped it through the end t for the first knot, and it just loops through the page. So here are the 2 ends. So now here's the next trick. Page 2. Now after this page,
Before you start to explain, Lisa asked, "Where are you from?" Eddie is here and Becca is with us.
woohoo,
I hope
woohoo.
he brought
Hey,
him the trash.
Sorry.
Welcome, Becky. Good morning, Becca.
Good morning. Sorry, I did
Hello,
not sleep
Becca.
well, and but I'm here now. I'm glad I looked at my phone like as
Oh,
soon as I woke up, and I was like, "What the heck? Oh,
I
whoops."
I set my alarm yesterday morning after
Right.
11 so that I could get.
You know what Shannon said? Shannon said, "You were sleeping so well, I just let you sleep." I was like, "Oh, I need to start telling her when I have things planned the next day."
You must do more communication, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I live in Florida, but I am from West Virginia. And that's
West
where the
Virginia.
accent comes from.
Definitely.
oh, perfect.
Hello,
If
everybody in
that's the
chat.
curiosity.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want to let Becca to explain what she's going to do, or do you want to finish the explanation? Beth?
I'm on page 2. The first page is got the slip knot in it through the
Okay.
loop to make it the beginning. Now the second page, after I do this page, you're going to do the continue this same technique on every single sheet of paper you want in your book.
Oh,
So
you do a slip stitch in every hole?
yes, this the same with the two needles that I'm going to do for you. I'll show
Uh,
you. I'll
so,
show you.
so you do the both
Repeat.
ends
Re-
at the same time.
repeat till the end
Oh,
of the pages. And then you're going to go down and do the very same step to the bottom hole. I've got two
oh,
holes.
yes, yes.
So both needles, I'm going to put both needles through
Just
at the
doing.
same time of the first hole.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pull them, I'm going to pull the thread through. Let's see, am I doing this right? Yes.
Beth has showed me how many times, Beth?
Well,
Probably a good
I
30 times, and I still do it wrong.
well, actually, Becca,
Oh,
I'm doing the traditional Coptic stitch. I'm not
oh.
faking
You're
I'm not gonna fake it.
not going to fake it. You're going to do it right.
So so here's what you gotta do. You've got two of your threads on different needles, and you're gonna take one to one side and one to the other side, and you're gonna go down in between the two threads that you just poked down into the first hole. So you bring them around to the side, and you're going to go down, and this one goes to the right, and you pull the thread, and it's really kind of fiddly at the first because you've got so much thread. And then this one's going to go down to the left of that of the middle threads, and you lay your page back down till you get your thread uh, pulled, and you're going to gently pull these together till the slack is gone. So you just gently tug them together,
Oh,
very gently, and you tug, and then you're going to go to the back of, or the back to the front of the page, on the other side of this first page, and you're just going to do a little tiny tugs, just tiny, 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 tiny tugs. You don't want to rip your paper, but that will create a knot, two little baby knots on the edge of your paper, and that's when you get to fold your paper to the front to match the first page. And there shouldn't be any slack. Okay, we don't want any slack. Uh, Once you get this started, then it'll be easy peasy the rest of the way. And I'm just going to do the second page, and then you can move me on to see what everybody's doing. So I'm going to go down to the second page, the second hole, and do the exact same thing. I've got one needle to the left and one needle to the right,
Sounds like a dance.
and shimmy to the right and shimmy to the left, cha cha. We can cha cha. So you pull your thread
I remember how to do it a little better if I put it to a dance.
and you lay your page back down, and then now you're going to take your needles and you're going to go in between these two threads, and you're going to go one to the right and one to the left,
One to the left. Now back to the right.
and then you're going to lay your threads down and gently get the slack out of it. It's a little fiddly, it really is, but it makes a beautiful stitch on the back. And as soon as you get some of the slack out, you can take and fold your second page forward, and then you're going to take the slack out of there's slacky. It's there's some extra threads. We want to gently tug till we get the slack out, and they tighten up very gently. They tighten up. So I've got the front page and two extra pages here, and you just gently tug. It's easier to do this with a cardstock so that it's not so tender. The paper doesn't tear. I'm not pulling hard enough to tear, just enough to make it taut. And now I'm going to do this to the rest of the book. And I'm going to keep flipping the pages until I get as many pages as I want done.
Oh, perfect.
I'm going to repeat. And then I'll come back on in a few minutes and show you where I'm at.
Yeah.
Journal version of a square dance. Yes.
Thank you, Beth. I am going to put Becca big.
Hello, everybody. So,
Hello.
hello, yeah.
Hi, Becca.
Hello, Miriam and Beth. Hello, and all the chat. Sorry, I'm late. So if you don't follow me on YouTube, I pretty much take trash to treasure all the time. That's kind of what I do. So, I mean, I'm not good. Anyways, it's what I do. I love to go and I love to recycle, upcycle, and try to not let things go into the trash. So I have kind of fallen away from that for a little while, but I'm really trying to get back to that whole making sure that I'm using trash into treasure. For example, this is actually made out of old pieces of, I bought a scrap bundle of felt from the secondhand store, and I made my needle book. I made my needle book out of it, just using what was in there to make, different sizes and stuff. So those would have been, trash to somebody. They probably would have thrown all those little pieces away. And, I think the white piece was small or something. Yeah, because this is like a tan. Anyway, so I made that. We talked about, where is it at? We talked about, these are flyers. Let's see. This is not, I put this I was so excited about putting it together. I put it together too early and it stuck, but you can see that's a Chewy advertisement that I took, and this was like, I think probably like the Chewy advertisement folded in 3, and I took it and painted it, and I'm going to put art in it, making it into an art book. You can see it here on this one too. So this is definitely trash to treasure right here that I was so excited about. I put together and it stuck, but it's still usable. I'm still going to make a book. This is not trash. Oh, there's one perfectly. I didn't even get color on it yet. So this is not, this will be a treasure. This will be a little book that I will make into something. And I have a finished one of these that I've shown on a previous. Here's something trash to treasure. It's actually using art. Here's some roses that I had from my rose book out front. And they were sitting here because I didn't know what to do with them. And I was arting with Mrs. Gigi. On Friday, we do this thing called Ladies in Hats. And I needed to use, what did I need to use? Oh, the prompt. We do prompts, and the prompt was nature. So I took those dried, and I made my lady that's in a hat, I made her a little dress. So I would consider those petals trash, because most people would take their roses and throw them in the trash when they dry out. So so there's that. So that's kind of what I show you my room, because my room is all trash. But okay, so here we go. I have all these little pieces that a lot of people that sew would just throw these pieces away. What do you do with this? That's such a weird shape. What are you going to, well, keep it. And I'm going to show you what I do with it. I have, this is just my, this is a gallon bag of blues. Okay. So yeah, keep these, because I know lots of people would throw these away, or don't keep them. Maybe you have too much stuff. For
Give
example,
them to Becca.
yeah, send them to me. No, don't send them to me. I have enough. This is a shirt that it just was so pretty, right? I think it's nightgown, actually. It's so soft. But it's got a big old hole in it. You wore the heck out of it, or your kids' clothes wore the heck out of it. Keep it. Keep it. You could do something. So now I just am cutting these into little squares or weird shapes. I don't want them all the same shape. So I'll probably do a little bit more cutting. But now I'm going to sew them on here. I have a template that I make, and I can't even find a finished one. That's how crazy I am feeling right now. I can't even find a finished one, and I could swear I had them right here on this little Lazy Susan thing that I keep next to my desk. But yeah, I can't, because I'm looking for it. But I make little cats, and they're kind of like a little quilted cat. I'm a crazy cat lady. So I have little cats that I make. So I'm going to pretend that I know what I'm doing here, and I'm good. It's very simple. It's a very simple, just, what a basic cat, because he's not going to end up being, he's going to be a little quilted. I don't know. Yeah, you guys can see what I'm doing here. Oh, he's a little bit shaped differently than how I usually have him, but that's okay. He's got to have a tail. And I just need something real basic, because I'm going to cover him up with little chunks of fabric. And then I will show you. There we go. See, just a little cat. So, and since I did that on there, I'm going to do it on the back here. I'm going to sew the sews.
I love that.
There we go. So that's what I'm doing, Miriam. If you want to keep me here or move on to somebody else while I sew, I'm going to just start sewing these little pieces of.
Okay. So, Anne, are you ready to show us more?
Sure. When you said that about scraps, if you know someone that sews, ask them if you can have their scraps, because most people
Yes.
have it. When you
Yes,
said that
I
about
do.
old clothes, I remembered the first fabric strips I did with, this is a different type of double-sided tape, but this side is the double-sided tape covering, and it peels off. And I had a pair of blue jeans that, I mean, they were despicably old, like the seams were coming apart in places and the fabric just flat out worn out. But I took strips of it and just adhered it to the double-sided tape. And now I can put it on something. And the cool thing about this is, because of the tape is so flexible, you can put it, say, like around the edge of a page, or cut it to make appliques. So, like she said, like Becca said, don't throw things out until you're absolutely sure you can't find a use for them.
Yeah.
I wanted to show one other thing. I'm just binding that little booklet. I had a whole bunch of gift cards that I knew I was never going to use. It's from the Holocaust Museum, and I've used some of them, but it's really hard to know who to send them to, because you don't want to trigger someone. And then I was given a bunch of cards that I knew I wouldn't use, so I put them together and made this accordion thing with pockets. And then I just have them sitting on a table beside me, and I use them for brayer off pages.
And look how gorgeous.
Oh,
And so, yeah, I mean, it's totally random. This is not a design. This is just brayer offs. And the other side looks completely different. But I just punched little pockets, and now I'll go through probably at some point and put, like maybe one die cut I have that I don't want to use somewhere else, or one that's left, or a sticker I didn't really care about, and start decorating them. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it in the end, but I realized the other day I could even cut it off, like, because they're kind of long. but I could cut it off or use them in a journal or use them to send somebody a treat. So that's another idea. If you have
Yeah.
cards, or they could even be cards you receive, come to think of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like Christmas cards, holiday cards that you're not,
Yeah.
gonna do anything, recycle them. You're tired of doing Christmas.
And they're
It's
just
neat.
glued together basically with one side punched for a pocket.
Yeah.
And, cards tend to be pretty heavy stock. So that's another one. But other than that, I'm now pseudo binding my little books. I've got the back page. I covered it with some rusty cheesecloth. And I'm binding the little bound signatures onto this, which is kind of my crazy way of doing it. It's not really very accurate or probably correct. I know I missed a step, so I had to kind of make it up as I go. But
I call
that's
that
okay.
I call that Becca binding.
Okay. Can I use that phrase, Becca?
Well, you have to call it Ann binding, but you
Oh,
can't. Yeah, don't be stealing my style.
okay. All right. I thought maybe
You
I'd give you
can,
credit.
you
I
can
wouldn't
steal
steal it.
her style, but
Well,
not her
maybe.
identity.
I'd give you credit, and then it would go viral or something like that.
Right. Well,
You always
maybe
wonder
I
how
just,
things
yeah.
like
Go
that.
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Becca binding. Sure.
That's
Yeah,
like our Kim has Kim bits.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. So Kim has Kim bits, and Becca can have Becca binding, and I just pulled it out of the hole. See, that's my problem in life.
See, that's exactly what mine would be.
Is it? Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm just following your good example then, aren't
Mhm.
I?
Just kind of tied around. I'm serious. She has shown me so many times, and I'm like trying to follow. It just doesn't. For some reason, it just doesn't click with my mind. Doesn't want to.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
and see these little ends? No, you can't because you can't see that color. See that little end of just your little end that you just can't pull that through no more? I don't throw those away either.
See, I was
I'll,
thinking
I'll
that
tell
what
you.
I want to try next with the tape is, how when you serge things, well, maybe if you don't sew, you don't know, but you end up with long strips of fabric. Like I always cut the selvage off,
Oh yeah.
and I was thinking putting those onto a strip of the double-sided tape, and also fibers. Like I felt wool, in the dryer, shrink it basically, and it makes really pretty dryer lint.
Ah, you know
And I,
what? That the whole salvage thing is really a hot thing. They
is it?
they sell the salvage. People pay money to buy that salvage piece that has the name brand and everything on it. Uh-huh.
You're kidding me.
It's a
I am
thing.
not kidding you. And they do like they do clothing with it. Like they put them all together in clothing. They do quilts. There's like a special, look it up, salvage art, fabric
Oh,
salvage
good
art.
gravy. Yeah, my
Mhm.
daughter one time entered a contest with Zag that makes like computer cases and stuff. And
Mhm.
so we made 120 pillowcases in like 2.5 weeks. And I saved all that selvage, and she won the prize, which was I think it was a computer.
Oh.
I don't remember. It was a big prize anyway.
What
So then
kind
I
of
made a
pillowcase?
table runner out of the selvages and
Oh.
another one and sent it to the company,
Oh,
like a
cool.
wall
Did you
hanging.
take any
Wow.
pictures of what you made? Your pillowcases?
She probably has them. I don't know. I had two of my grandchildren here, and so we just all decided we would help her with this charity project, and then they were given
Eddie,
to military veterans.
Oh, okay. Okay, neat.
Eddie says that love you, what you're doing, and
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's like I always, have all these scraps and stuff, and I hate throwing them away, especially out of really nice fabrics. But I still have the table runner. If I think of it, I'll take a picture. But so yeah, and most of this paper is just scrap paper.
So you
This
made
one here
a table runner out of the scraps?
out of the selvages, yeah.
Wow. Definitely would love to see that. Please post that in our Facebook page, books pages and stuff, and our
Okay, I'll see
Facebook
if I
group.
can get it out. But yeah, I just took a piece of. Can't remember if I took a piece of cotton, another piece of solid cotton, or if I took interfacing and sewed them down, overlapped them.
Look at this, Anne. They made a bag out of the salvages.
Oh, good heavens!
oh,
Uh-huh.
let's put
Yeah.
you a little
D-
bit more.
does everyone know what those little dots are for?
Some of
Mag.
them are color codes.
Yeah, it's the color codes.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can take that and then you can coordinate fabric with it. That's what it's for.
Becca, do you want to show again your bag? I put you a little bit
Oh,
Yeah,
bigger.
show it again, Becca.
oh, this was I went to another one. I didn't make these. These are off the internet. I did not make these. But this, look at this. They covered up their quilting chair
Oh,
The
I had
craft
no idea.
fair.
with the
See, I
oh
did it like
yeah,
15 years ago. I didn't know.
you were cool before cool was cool.
I was definitely. That's for sure. That's my
Sorry, I didn't
usual
mean
way
to
of
steal
being.
that from you. I just thought when you said that, I was like, oh my goodness, that's what people are doing. You know, they're using those.
I had no idea.
Hmm. Yeah, I go to this one sale, this fabric sale, and sometimes people come in there and they'll be like, "Do you just have the salvages they want to buy?" I'm thinking, just make yourself something and start really sewing, and
Yeah.
then you'll have your own salvages. Because most
Jeez.
sewers, sewers like don't, they don't use those. I guess the quilters do now. And
I
this
What
think
and
you
they,
should do
well,
with your
actually, they probably don't because quilters know that those selvages are woven differently than the rest of the fabric because of the weaving process, and they'll pull your work.
well, if it's all put together like that,
Yeah, if
though,
it's all selvages, you're okay. But
yeah, yeah, and that's what they're
yeah,
doing. That's what I'm saying. That's where it came from is the quilters. That's who's doing it. Is
probably having their pile of selvages going, what am I going to do with this?
right. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I saved some, but I don't know where they are right now. I was going to use them for like strings on a tag. Here they are.
Oh, yeah,
See,
yeah,
here's from one. I'm making, I made one of my grandsons a Renaissance outfit for Renaissance Week. Well, now his little sister wants a Renaissance dress. She doesn't have Renaissance Week, but she wants a Renaissance dress. So
yeah.
these are the selvages. I showed her some pictures of
Miriam,
fabric.
you can take her back over to Ann, or take. Sorry.
Oh, it's
I,
nothing exciting,
oh yes.
but the fabric she
I need
picked
to
after I
clean my
looked at
hands.
it. After I looked at the fabric, you can read the manufacturer. This is authorized by the Smithsonian. I thought that stinky little
oh,
7-year-old has good taste.
yeah. They do. They do.
I've done that
When
before, though. I
orange.
pulled out. I was one of my grandsons wanted a cape, or I decided to make him a cape for Christmas. So I was going to make him a red, like Superman cape, right? So I went to the basement in a hurry and I pulled out some red cotton. And after I cut it, I realized it was $12 a yard Kona cotton
Oh, nice. Yeah, for a cape.
for a
Mm-hmm.
cape. Yeah.
That was a
Mm-hmm.
true Superman's cape.
It
Mm-hmm.
was, and it's funny. I didn't know he wanted a cape, and I was there the day after Christmas, and that's when they opened stuff from us. And that child was so excited. He kept running around saying, "Baba made me a cape. Baba made me a cape. Look, look,
Oh.
look." So it was
Oh,
worth it. It was worth the cost.
That's
Yeah.
a little boy, my son's stepbrother. He comes over and spends time with us sometimes over here, and comes in, and he's been on my channel. He leads art. He does art prompts with my followers.
Uh huh.
He will pick, like, I let him pick out things to use, and for whatever reason, it's like he goes right to the expensive stuff, and I'm like, oh no, no, we can't. I have these markers and these markers. Which
Yeah.
one do you go for? He goes.
the kid markers.
Yeah, he doesn't go for the Crayolas. He goes for my Prism.
Isn't it funny though how kids just pick things?
Mm-hmm.
The
They
same one that
know.
got the Renaissance outfit. They used to live here from the time he was born until he was about 8, and he loved going downstairs and getting ribbon. And there was one in particular he just loved. It's black with white polka dots, but I got him at the ribbon outlet. That's not about an hour and a half from here, so it was like $4 for an industrial 1,000-yard bolt of ribbon. So, at that price, you just say, sure, you want to use that ribbon? Go ahead. Well,
Right.
one day and I even had child scissors hanging by the ribbon rack so he could cut his own ribbon. And he went down there and I was busy. So his mom went down with him. And I hear her say, no, 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 you can't just take that ribbon. No, no, that's Baba's ribbon. And so I knew what he was doing. And I went down there. I said, it's okay. He can have whatever he wants. I don't have the ones he can't have in that stack of drawers. And sure enough, he pulled out about 4 yards of that black and white ribbon. But it was just funny. He became so attached to that one type of ribbon. I don't know why,
Oops. Sorry.
but he did. So it was good. Then he made me a banner one time with, he asked for markers and paper and his ribbon. And I said, sure. And he sat down and he made me a banner that said, I love you, Baba.
Oh,
And had it
Baba.
tied with that ribbon. I was like, that's worth all the ribbon in the world.
right. That's worth if the ribbon was $5,000 an inch. It
Yeah.
was worth it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That
But I
is
did keep the really nice imported ribbons away from the kids.
called, that's called unconditional love.
Yeah. Yep. So I think it's
Or
fun to watch kids
spoiled.
create and just let them do what they want,
Mm-hmm.
Don't direct everything. Let them do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I cut all my pages too big or I folded them the wrong way, one or the other. Now I have to trim them all.
Or leave them. Oh, they sure are. Whoops.
This is my life or something.
I thought maybe
Nothing
they were
that we
taller
can
and
say,
stuff.
no, it's okay.
I meant
I
to
love
do
it when you
that.
say that, Miriam. It's okay.
Just just make every page a different shape, like this.
Oh, there's an idea. I'll try. But see that fast, and then I'll just do the inside. And then with the scrap from the cover, I put onto cheap index cards, and I'll use them inside for something. So then it's all coordinated. If it were the right size, that is, it would be lovely. It's okay. It's really just a silly thing. So it's okay. I can trim them. So I'll trim. Miriam, you can show somebody else doing something that isn't screwed up.
Okay, I am going to show mine a little bit, if you don't mind.
Of course not.
Only that I have glue in my hands and I need to put them on my computer. Well, I started with 2 of them. So I am going to show you how I do that and with what, but I did this and I'm letting that dry. And now I finished. I don't know if it's still finished. Maybe I need to do something else, but this is maybe something here I will put. Then this is what I've been using. And it's a very, very expensive material, depending on it was expensive and you couldn't I thought my 8-year-old nephew how to gel print, he loves it, said Eddie. Oh yes, Sherry is here. Hi Sherry. My friend in Denmark says has been doing that for years, salvages fabrics for clothes and all kind of things. Wow, interesting. I hope I don't miss anyone getting in. If not, let me know. Lizzie is here. She's stopping by for a quick minute to say hi and give a thumb up. Love seeing needles and thread at work. Thank you, Lizzie. So this is this, like toilet paper.
Ah,
A very expensive material.
yes.
Oh, I see.
You
It's very popular.
Yes, you do this. You do, of course. This one you don't use the used one.
It's
Only
not
the
used.
new one.
Nah,
There's some things we're not going to reuse.
yeah, they're right. There's just some things you
Some
should
things,
not reuse.
Not going to do
well,
it. I think
I
toilet
do.
paper falls into that category.
I do like that, and when I have a little bit like that, like this, I start to do
Lizzie.
uh, like a yarn, and every time I do this with the rest, and when it's very tense, then I incorporate to my cake.
Sherry.
And I don't want to do it now because it takes a lot of time, but you can do it while you are on the TV
Are
and
you on the
you
toilet?
You can, but you need to be very careful not to confuse between the two.
Right, right. Make sure you use it.
But yes, you can. So the thing is that you can do that beforehand and have the cake or the yarn like this, and then, like I have here, it stays. When you did like that and you put it in a, how you call that? It's not a cake. It's a, I don't know the name, but when you put it like this, even for a little bit, like I did, it stays, and
Like
you
a
only,
ball.
yes, like in a ball.
Uh-huh.
So I used to use that for doing things as paper mache, something like that, on plastic jars and PET in bottles. And I used to have a lot of those, and you can stain it also.
Hmm.
Then you will have so many colors, and when it's dry, you can paint it, and it stays like this. So it had volume.
Wow.
And I saw Seth after he made, or he had in his shop, one that it's newspaper like this, the same method but with newspaper. So I didn't do that yet, but it's
Paper
very
mache. Is it
interesting.
paper mache?
This is not paper mache. This is regular toilet paper,
Toilet
but
paper, Beth.
you do this.
Okay.
You do
Toilet
this.
paper mache.
You only put some glue when you need to glue it to another part. Let's say I want to do here a spiral. Okay, so let's put it here so you can see. I grab some of the glue that I have here. I come in here, and I'm going to do so I can cut it also. So I put the glue, and then I use it like this.
That's great.
You don't get much cheaper than toilet paper.
It's
I don't.
expensive.
Unless we're in a pandemic and there's no on the
That's
shelves.
that's what I was thinking.
I have some cheap toilet paper I bought just as backup during the, right at the beginning of the pandemic. Maybe
Oh,
that's
you
what I
can
should
do
do.
it. So now this is not so good. So we can add some of the glue and glue it. So it needs to be ready in a more minutes. Let's see if this is ready. Fairly ready. Let's grab our glue gun. Okay, let's see the chat. Sharon used the similar method to make vernicals on the sunken treasure bottles. Oh, I didn't know that she used it. Oh, yes, I can remember. I used this method a long time ago. I started. I want to use it, so I want to. Oh, I need to use for this one first because here we are going to see better the. I wanted to use this clay, and I have glue in my hand, so I need some oil, baby oil. But I have the problem when I want to put it on the glass, I need some glue. And with glue, this is not a friend of glue because it will be too wet. So let's do something different. Let's try to use it anyway. No, I cannot. I need to do it in advance and glue something that it's already dry if I want to use that. Let's see. Let's use this method again and again and again because what I want to do, like a paint job that I want to do, is better if we have a transparent bottle. So I found this, Maxi found this, and I am going to use it. Yeah. Okay, who is next?
Me, Beth. Beth is next.
Who?
Beth.
Okay.
Okay.
Beth.
Now, as you remembered, I did the first 2 or 3 pages, and once you get started, you will find a pattern that is works best for you. And I ended up maybe putting a little paper clip here so that my pages were kept in order and not going all over the place as I stitched. And I wanted to show you the pretty stitch that you get on the back of the spine, and it's very pretty. It's a braid, and the reason why it's pretty is because it's consistent. I'm doing the exact same thing.
That's what's different with mine, Beth. Mine is not consistent.
Yeah,
That's how you can tell if it's the Becca one.
I'm doing the
You
original
found
Coptic stitch. The other stitches that I do are a slip knot stitch, and it creates another type of braid. But it doesn't matter because most of the time, 99% of the time, you're going to be covering the spine anyway with the back of a harder covers. A lot of times, I think I'm going to leave my book open this time. Uh, and then I will hang some tassels and beads on the end of it for fun. But I'm going to lay my book back down, and I've got a right and a left with a embroidery needle on each thread, one to the right and one to the left. And I'm going to show you again the stitch that I'm doing now that I'm in the middle of my book. It's a little bit different than I did at the beginning, but it's still the same thing. It's will um, this particular stitch is I guess you could call it a double chain stitch, perhaps. But
oh,
I'm going to show. I'm not sure, but this is the Coptic is a person's name that invented this particular stitch, and
He, he,
I may have it just a little bit wonky, which is normal for me anyway. But I'm going to take my right needle and go into my hole and pull the slack,
our
and then
beautiful
I'm going
Beth,
to
Beth is
go.
a little wonky.
Yeah, I'm always wonky. And then I'm going to put my left needle in the hole and pull it to the left. And then
There we go.
we're going to
Back
take,
dancing.
this is kind of an important step right here. And I'm going to take my right needle and go into the middle of these two and go back to the right just to keep it straight. It's a little bit loose here. We're going to tighten it up in just a second. And I'm going to take my left needle and go into the middle and then pull it back to the left. So we went in and we're coming around and going back down into the thread, and then we can lay this down now on top of the rest of the pages. And I'm going to use my little paper clip to help hold it down for me. And I'm just going to gently tug until the slack comes back out, and that's what makes the spine, that pretty stitch on the spine. And I'm not pulling real tight, and you can see how that is, and that's exactly how you make the back of the spine, that little stitch. And then it's the same thing over and over and over till you get all of your pages done, and then you will have a book. And the great thing about Coptic stitch is all of the knots are on the spine. So when you open your book, no matter what page you are on, your pages will be flat. And you can art all the way to the edge of your spine on this page, and it will not affect the turning ability of turning a page. They're all open and they're all flat, and that's what's one of the wonderful things about this stitch. And so you don't have to worry about just arting to the hole. You don't have to worry about that. You can go all the way to the page and cover that thread up. It will not hurt won't hurt it. It won't tear it. It won't so you have the ability to use the entire spine, to all the way to the spine. A lot of notebooks, you got to go to the three hole, to the little hole, and you can't do anything else because there's a ring going in through the hole, so you can't go to the edge. But with this particular stitch, you can use the entire page, and
You
it's a beautiful.
also can use, you don't need to fold the pages. You can use the pages if you have something, how do you call?
um, with this particular stitch, the pages lay flat. No matter which way you turn them open, they will lay flat with this stitch.
But
And
you also use like loose pages. You don't need them to fold them in half.
right, yes, yes. This is a different type of binding where you bind loose pages. Exactly.
Perfect.
And it's easier with this stitch is easier on a like a cardstock type fat. You can do it on thin paper, but you have more of a chance of ripping your holes because it's fragile
Oh,
paper.
I see.
So it's better with a cardstock. But anyway, that's and I'll go ahead and do one more page, and I've got my needle to the right and my needle to the left. I'm getting down to the
And
ends of
then,
my thread. And a lot of people ask, how much thread do you use? And I just guess. I just guess. The more the better, even though it's harder to work with longer threads, but that way you can always cut it off versus, or if I wanted to tie another uh,
mhm,
extension on here, I could still tie a knot and add an extension to this. I don't think it would hurt. Hi, Eddie. Eddie's in the room. So anyway, I'll do one more page before we flip to the next person. And
perfect.
I've got my hole, and I'm going to go down to my hole with my right needle, and I'm going to go down the hole with my left needle, and then I'm going to take my needle from the right and go in between, and stick this one to the right, and then I'll go in between with the left needle. It's a little bit more work, but that's what the Coptic stitch is. And I'm going to put this under the paper clip to hold it together for me, and then I'm going to gently tug the right side and gently tug the left side, and that is the stitch. That's the stitch on the back of the page, on the back of the spine, and
Oh,
that's it.
that's
And
neat.
and it's just the same thing over and over. And once you do it one or two times, practice on three or four pieces of paper, just three or four pieces. Practice it, and then you'll get the hang of it, and you go, "Oh yeah, I can do a big book now." So So I'm a big girl now, and I'm doing a bigger book, and it does create a thickness there with the thread. Of course, it's there. The fibers are there, but that's going to be your book. That's going to be the spine of your book, and that is a true Coptic stitch.
Oh,
You
Okay.
mentioned adding
perfect.
dangles or whatever. Is that always done after it's bound?
Yes. Whenever I do a book, um, let me see if I got a. I had a sample over here. See what I've done with it.
I guess the question is you don't put them in as you're stitching.
I'll find it. I'll find it while you're looking at somebody else. I've got some dangle samples, and I can show you some of my books that have dangles on them. So I'll show them to you in a minute. I'll go get them while you're looking at Anne. Anne's next.
And I think you could.
And
I
Oh,
am?
are you
Okay.
And I
ready?
think you
after
could.
Becca.
You
Or
what?
Becca? Or
I think you
Becca?
could add the dangles. While I knew I kind of thought that through what you were saying, and I think you could do that. Add a bead every once in a while when you're doing it on the back of it.
I just
You know,
wondered if
so
there was a
add.
system to it, like, it would
Oh,
make it lumpier or something.
I guess if it would if you were adding a back binder on it, but if you weren't, why not? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I've never done that with the Becca stitch, so I would think that you could. I think Beth, haven't you done that? And did she? Maybe she might have taken a potty break. I think she's done that where she's kind of certain, like after certain stick, after you take. Yeah, you're right. I don't know where you'd put it in there, but anyway,
Yeah.
sorry. I was
I
thinking that
don't know.
through when you said that. I was like,
Good
bead
question,
that
huh?
way. Yeah.
I'm doing a slap it together, screw it up, remeasure it, cut it again, attach it again way of doing this. But I think I figured out why I measured it wrong, because I measured it all the way, from here to here without taking into account that, oop, there's a big old spine in the way. This is what happens when you do it quickly and don't think it through.
But this is a good way of learning, right,
It
Anne?
is. Don't do as I do.
Right.
Learn
That's
from
what
my
I said.
mistakes.
Yes, that's what I say on my channel all the time because I don't ever know what I'm doing.
So there we go. So I see, I was going to go get ribbon. And I thought, well, I'll just use these selvage strips. So it's drying. So I'll show you something else. I clean off my brayers and I make a big old mess of them. Believe me. When they won't turn anymore, that's when I take the skin off.
Oh
So
yeah.
I have this box of brayer skins that I've peeled off. This is my favorite. It's from a stencil. I was actually able to peel off some pieces from a stencil. But this
Wow.
morning I finally pulled one out and die cut it, and it worked.
Ah,
And
Oh,
the
neat
cool
idea.
thing is this is completely flexible.
Oh, you could put it on like a wrap around a bottle, like
Yep.
over there with Mary. That's
You could wrap it around a bottle. I was thinking I have a I think I have a die for cutting book corners. And I'm wondering if I couldn't cut it out of this, because that's strong. By the time I get done, I mean, this one must be, I don't know how many layers of paint, but look, I mean, you can't rip it.
yeah. Mine don't come off that nice.
It's impermeable. Oh, I'm good at peeling things, but I only clean them off when they won't turn anymore.
Yeah, that's mine's probably got a good. Yeah.
So, yeah. And then I also, somebody I think mentioned stickers. And I use all these old stickers that we have, labels for things as
Mm.
brayer offs. And I had some that were clear and they made really pretty stickers that you can add to things. But it's on a piece of plastic and I don't know how well they're going to stick off. But these, because they're old, I do put glue under them when I use them. I don't just stick that down. But actually, it would work really well here because I didn't cut these very straight. See,
If
I
you
could put it
if
up
any of
there.
y'all see those types of stickers at yard sales and stuff, you need to pick them up because
Yeah.
it's going to be they're not going to be around very long. They're
Mm-mm.
everything's going digital and people aren't keeping files like that. So
Yeah. And the other one is the CD labels that you can
yep.
buy, that came on
Yeah.
a sticker sheet. Those make really cool stickers. But
Mm.
I've used these a lot for on gifts or tags or, gift tags or sticking something on a package. So I pulled that out because I thought that was, we probably all know it, but then sometimes you got to see it and remember, oh yeah, I got to do that. So I
Yeah,
always think make the most of your brayer. Of course, I use a lot too much. I put too much paint on everything when I do it, like my gel plate. Oh my gosh, I'm perpetually brayering off gel plates, and so it's a lot of paint to waste.
yes.
But
Well,
so if you
you
could,
can do skins without taking out of the brayer.
yes, you can. You're right. You absolutely. But see, look at that.
Yeah, I never succeed in that.
In what?
Ooh, look at that.
Taking out the skins from the brayer.
You have to be very patient and slow. I think.
Oh,
Ah, okay, now I understand.
now I know why I can't do it.
But
Yep.
see, like that could wrap around the spine. And it's different colors. They will not come off very well if you use a metallic as your first layer on your brayer.
Oh, so now I have to think before I use that first
Mm-hmm.
layer. That's getting
Mm-hmm.
too
Yep.
much there.
I use my pokey tool, which is not really advised, but I'll show you what I do. But I do it
So
anyway because
if I
I'm
need to
thinking
see,
though.
no.
So you pull off the side. See, this one's already got its side part pulled off. Watch, I don't really want to screw up this one.
Oh, what about a seam ripper?
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think my seam ripper would work better. Go to somebody else. I'll go get my seam ripper out and we'll try it.
Okay. Becca,
Uh-huh. Yep.
you asked, you are big now.
I'm just continuing sewing, and I wanted to point out I don't do any special stitch. I don't do any. I just grab a color and I just this side doubled up just so I want to see the stitch. That's the whole thing, is you want to kind of see the stitch. So, and I don't cover them up. I show the ends, and sometimes like I'm shredding that, it's okay if they're shredded. It's okay if only, like, if I put a piece over here and you only see that real little piece. I mean, that's the beauty of it. You just kind of just throw this on, and I'm using a piece of felt because that's what I had here. I was looking for muslin. A lot of times, usually I do stitch this on a muslin, but you could use an old shirt, use, if you're trying to make it all 100% recycled, get an old blanket, something, an old towel, anything that you were going to throw away would work. This double thread has made a mess, although it was too thin to use it single, but I look at the back, but don't worry about the back because you don't have to worry about the back. That's why. And but that's why you don't have to worry about the back. So just stitch it on. If you have,
I didn't see it.
we're going to cover the back up, so we don't care what the back looks like. All my
I
knots.
didn't see the back.
Oh, well, that's okay. It's a mess. No, I'm teasing.
I know. I
Oh,
told.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I even, I don't cut it every time because you'll see why it's really not that important to have the knots inside and stuff. We're going to have sewed around the outside so that you don't really have to, that will kind of lock the threads in. And if the threads come out a little bit, that will be the beauty of it in the future. If some of the threads do come through and pop through, it will make it look like it's, recycled and old, right?
Recycled.
And this is kind of far over here. I still have the tail, as you can see. I don't have any fabric over here on the tail. So
For new things, you buy it.
there you go.
Recycle things, we did it.
And this is too short, so I'm going to just.
I don't know you, but for me, it's a satisfaction when I can use something that otherwise go to trash.
Yeah, it is. I really like that. And when it doesn't look like trash when you're done. You know, it actually looks really cute. You
Yes,
That
know?
is an important part there.
Right,
yes,
right.
yes, yes. This is important. Don't skip that step.
At least I hope it looks like something that you want to keep. But that's a kind of a good thing though too, is if it doesn't turn out perfectly, it's like, well, it was just an old shirt I was going to throw away anyways.
Nothing else, it can become a rag, right?
Right, there you go. Yeah.
I mean, that's what our grandparents and great grandparents did with
Right,
everything.
they didn't go and buy like we do,
Eddie
go and buy
said
rags.
a lot of those kind of stickers. I did today's things with stickers, and that's where you heard it today in my stream.
Yep.
And I used double-sided tape on different things. And even today, because we were talking about it, I use it on fabric. Here is my fabric and double-sided tape. And so it works, the regular one. Okay, so there is nothing fancy on that.
No rhyme or reason, just an up and down stitch. I'm not even keeping them even. Um, so this is almost like what people call, slow stitch projects, where they're just not thinking, they're just sewing. That's what's really
Yes,
nice about this is that, I don't put any thought, which took me a long time because I used to do embroidery, and when I was taught embroidery, everything, your back looked as nice as your front, and all your, stitches were even. So it kind of took me a little while, but I finally caught on to the whole slow stitch. I still hate calling it that, but
I do
slow
too.
stitch.
Me too.
Uh, you know, I just call it hand stitching.
slow stitch need to be slow.
It's slower than the sewing machine.
It's slower than
Okay.
Well, yeah. That's hand stitching for you.
yeah, right. All
Let's see
right.
my
So I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna make the tail shorter. He'll just have a short tail. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come on this side, and I do want an embroidery floss so it's thicker. Let's see, let's use this pink.
I missed what you're sewing it to, Becca. Is it
Oh,
paper
this
or
is just
something?
no, this is a piece of felt. I usually use muslin, but this is what I had here, and since I was running late, I didn't want to try to find where my muslin is. But yeah, I just anything you can sew it on the back. You're pretty much you're just kind of using this piece as to give it some.
Body.
I've used like I've taken my scraps of fabric and just my bigger ones that are the same, put two or three together just to give it kind of so that it's squishy. Is that
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
squishy? So yeah, look at this mess.
squishy, squishy.
What did I do
What's
with my
squishy? It's soft. You can mush it down.
soft and squishy? Yeah, yeah. So it's not just one layer of flat fabric onto an, just two. I just want it to have a little thickness. I think that's the word I'm kind of looking for. Thickness. I
That's
need it.
how people used to make quilts. They'd always have a backing fabric for the scraps.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Great.
unusual at all. If you peel one, you get one, a really old one, and it's coming
Yeah.
apart, you can see where it might have an old sheet or something underneath there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Something recycled.
Actually, Sherry, this is one of my projects. I had this out. I was showing somebody recently on a stream,
Well,
and
that's
I was
nice.
showing them. This is one of my slow stitch project. I this is all fabric, and then I attach it to my rainbow book. So,
Oh, that's so pretty.
but all my squares that I just kind of sewed together, and then I put some embroidery stitches on there, and sewed some buttons on. I got a yo-yo here. This is some beads.
Oh, yo-yos. I have a whole package of them over here I brought downstairs.
So
I
yes,
make them and make them and make them and keep them, and I don't use them.
yeah, I don't know what to use them for. I do the same thing. I was gonna sell them
Oh, I
because
saw something done with yo-yos. I think it was a quilt.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen quilts where it's all yo-yos.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And those little dolls. So this step, I'm gonna make a little bit smaller stitches because I'm gonna now go and I'm gonna stitch around on the opposite side that I have it drawn out. I'm gonna stitch around the cat that I drew.
I
Ah,
don't think
yes.
my other brayers have enough
Yes,
paint on them to come off. Yep, they don't. Sorry, guys.
Got our hopes
I did
all up
make a
in there.
wall hanging with yo-yos. I should take that back. I did. The Christmas tree.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I've seen actually yo-yos made into a Christmas tree that stand up too. Now that you say that.
No, that would be tricky.
wow.
You know how they put them down and then they just layer them shorter, 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 and then they
Yeah,
sew it
but it
together.
stands up.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
How does it
Yeah,
make it strong enough to stand up?
I guess well the weight of them because you take the first
Is
ones
it-
and you however wide you're gonna I don't have circles here. You know, you would stitch them around. This is so horrible. But
Okay, I have
you know,
yo-yos. Tell me what to do.
you stitch them here, this one, and then this one, and then you do the outside,
Oh,
and then
you layer them like that?
yeah, this would be the one layer, and then the next layer you make smaller, and then smaller, and then smaller, and then smaller, and then smaller, and then
Oh, I get it. So it would
is
go
it you?
like this.
Let me see. Wait, do you
I have
have?
all different colors of
Oh, look,
yo-yos.
yeah,
So
you got them right there in front of you. You can actually, yeah.
so it
Oh,
would be like
they're
I'd make a
little.
layer.
You
I
got
would guess
little.
there'd have to be something under this, wouldn't there? Like a base?
No, because the weight of them keeps it standing up. I mean, I suppose you could do it solid. The bait, maybe underneath you take like you use felt and you make and you sew it to the felt to keep
So
the.
it would
But
be like this then.
yes, like
And then the
that.
next layer.
That's
Oh,
what I've
okay.
seen. Yeah, I've never made one. I've seen them.
Me
Because
either.
yeah,
But I
I've
have a
seen
lot
them.
of yo-yos in different sizes.
Got some different green. Could do all like green patterned ones, and there you go. You got a Christmas tree.
Well, most of the green ones are on the Christmas tree. That hasn't
But
actually ever been hung on the wall because it lost one of its buttons that
it,
has
it lost its
crystal
yo-yo.
on it. Hmm?
Lost its yo-yo.
It's got its yo-yo, but in the middle of each yo-yo on the tree, I put a button that had a crystal on it,
Oh yeah, neat. Okay.
and it lost the crystal. So I got to fix it and finish it and finally get it on the wall.
It's a good idea, Sherry.
What Sherry says?
She said that all it needs is one of my boho beads on
Oh,
my
yes.
rainbow journal.
Mhm.
That was
Okay,
my
so
last year's rainbow journal.
That's right.
there, I think it's done now.
There you go.
Except
See
for
there. Oh, your journal.
yeah,
Look,
my scrappy journal.
show her, Miriam. Show her.
yes. Let's show it.
Look at them. You should see the mess. Look at the mess. You got to see the mess first. That's the mess.
All for making this little recycled
Wait,
journal.
this?
Yeah, just
Oh,
from this
Anne.
one thing. So then
Anne.
what? Oh, so it's got all different papers. I trimmed them down now that I figured out my mistake. It needs to be smushed now under something heavy.
It wasn't a
That-
mistake. It was,
An adventure.
Mistake.
We
It
call
wasn't a
it
mistake. It was a mistake.
Yes.
And then I could add tags or whatever else I want to add to it. And I don't know what I'll do with it, but it's just, it doesn't matter. I think it takes the pressure off when you're using things that otherwise you'd throw away.
Yep.
Yes.
You're not using, your best watercolor paper and you're not
Right.
using
Exactly. Because I have anxiety about using expensive stuff. That's why I don't buy expensive paint because I can't fathom that using it and then I end up using it on a project like this where I make a mistake and I feel like I wasted that. And I know I didn't in my mind, but it's just that I guess my part of my anxiety that it's like, oh, I wasted that. I waste that $30 bottle of paint on something that didn't work out, so
Yeah. I think I've finally gotten over it by, like, I have a bunch of golden paint, but I got it really, really cheap through a educational company. It was like $3 or $4 a tube.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But still, it's like, I'm not going to replace that, like you said, at $30 a tube. But
Right.
I
Yeah.
finally decided, what's the point? It's just going to sit there.
Right. I'm trying. I'm getting better. I am getting better at using my expensive things that I've purchased.
It's just going to sit there, and then someday your kids are going to go, why did mom keep this?
And
I'll
then it's
just
going to
throw
get
it
thrown.
away.
Yeah. When they, yeah, exactly. They're not going to sell it. They're not going to make money off of it or give it to some. No, they're going to be like, what is this trash?
Yeah.
This is a room of trash.
That's why I don't buy expensive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
I know that because I have a friend that passed away and her husband took all of her husband and her child took all of her stuff and just told the neighbor, if you want this stuff, come get it. I want it out of here.
Oh my gosh.
And
Well,
just
yeah, I've
pretty
seen
much,
that happen. I've seen it happen. I mean, I've been on
you
the
know,
receiving end of that more than once. We knew a man who, oh my gosh, their financial life was such a mess, and his wife died unexpectedly. And we went over there, to see what we could do. And he brings out a Kleenex box, like an empty Kleenex box, and dumps it on the table. It is full of gold jewelry.
oh, jeez.
And he says, just take what you want. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh dear, 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 dear. We can't have people coming in here and him doing this. It's like,
Yeah.
I was like, well, let's think this through. But yeah, like I always, but my kids know better. I think they know what's good and what isn't. Some of them want some of it. Like I have one daughter-in-law and my daughter both want a lot of the fabric and stuff. So that I know will be in good hands. But I'm also writing out charities they can give it to.
I'm having a D-stash, trying to get rid
That's
of it.
why I don't buy expensive and I don't want my art to outlive me.
Mm-hmm. Makes
But your
sense.
kids might want it, Miriam.
I'm going to leave my chat room in my will.
That's a good way to get everyone fighting, Beth. Oh, your
I
chat room.
will.
Yeah, well, everybody in there will fight over what they want. You
No,
better
I'm going to have
specifics.
specific directions. You put you fill a box up and you put an address on it. Fill, fill up fill up 40 boxes. Put 40 different addresses on them. Boom. Done.
You're done. See, there's a form of a skin right there. Miriam was talking about making a skin. That's some paint. I think I spilled on some plastic.
Mm.
But I liked the way it looked, so I kept it.
Yeah.
I know what I'll do with it. I'll make it into a tag here for my little junk journal. I don't like the phrase junk journal. You want to talk about things we don't like the phrase of?
Yeah.
It's a treasure journal.
Yeah, I like that better because junk, I don't want to think that what someone makes with their own hands, no matter how good or bad it is, should be called junk. Okay, that's my opinion.
A treasure journal with junk material.
Yeah. Found objects. How about that?
Oh, I love it.
It's a UFO.
Uh-huh. It cracks me up though when you see really young people like all proud of themselves thinking they invented recycling.
Or anything. I
Uh-huh.
like when you go on a channel and they think that they invented something, this new art project, and then somebody does it on their channel and it's like you stole that. No.
No.
That's been done. There is not a thing that has not been done. If you think of something and you're like, oh, that's a great idea, I'm going to take to the internet and that's going to be like a new thing. Look it up. You're going to find somebody. There's been a couple times where I've done that where it's like, oh, wow, I'm going to, this is such a good idea. And then I've looked it up and it's like, nope, that's been done. You might not have seen it before, but it's been done.
Yeah.
I think we kind of forget that, the world was out there before the internet.
Decades ago, I was in an online quilt group. It was before Facebook or anything. We were all email. But
Oh
at the
yeah.
time, we were laughing at people. We weren't laughing, but it was kind of quizzically looking at people that were trying to copyright quilt patterns that have been around forever. Like, our great
Yeah.
grandmas made these patterns
Yeah.
and or sewed them. And then we went to Venice and we were looking in a cathedral, and I looked down at the floor. The marble floors were what we call quilt patterns.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
I'm like, it's been around that long. We didn't invent it.
And even our grandparents didn't, right?
No,
Right.
no, they
Well,
didn't. But they probably
let
didn't claim they did.
let's go democratically now a little bit. We are all big.
Oh, good. I like that. I wondered what you were going to do when you said democratically. I'm like,
What'd
okay.
she say? We're all what? I missed what she
Going
said.
democratically. We're all on.
Okay.
Everybody's equal.
Yes, that's it.
Is that it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here's my scrap from my failed multi times trying to find the inside of it. But now, see, I can take a scrap, punch a circle, put it on a tag, and it's coordinated. I like coordination. I found that even with stencils, I'll look at different sites and go, oh, that's the same pattern. Oh, that's the same. It's just a
Oh yeah.
variation of a theme.
Oh yeah. Yep. For sure. Because I have a lot. I have lots. And I see that there's so many, and Tim Holtz, everyone thinks he's so brilliant. And
Well,
everything he's done has been done before.
He's just
yeah.
popular. He's
Yeah.
got charisma.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
and he takes a lot of vintage things, and they'll admit they're vintage.
You enjoy the chattel, ladies? Eddie? I don't know what are you talking about.
He's saying we talk a lot.
I know. I understood. I just putting
There was a
chat.
picture when you talk about Tim Holtz,
uh-huh.
of
Tom
some
Holtz.
people and a pickup truck. And
There's a
for
new
the
one for
longest
me,
time, I
Dave,
looked at that and I
Becca.
thought it was my grandmother
Oh,
Oh yeah.
because the picture was so, it wasn't. I finally pulled out the picture of my grandmother and her sister-in-law and brother, and it wasn't them. But by George, it looked the same because a lot of those things he's just gotten an old photo, and he admits
Oh
it. He
yeah.
says it.
Oh yeah.
And he's gotten an old photo and copied it.
Yep. And if it's not copyrighted, there you go.
Yeah, he might change it, but he doesn't. He doesn't deny that. It's not like he's claiming I made this original design.
Right.
Yada yada.
Right.
Yay
Yeah.
me.
Right.
But it was so funny. I showed my daughter. I said, "Look, is that my Nana?" She's like, "I don't know. You got to find the picture." So,
well,
but
I
it's probably somebody else in Texas
Uh,
in the 1930s, all looking like grapes of wrath.
look at the
Yeah.
same.
I should have did a back stitch on this, but I didn't, just to tie it down a little bit better. But
You should have, huh?
yeah, I'm not awake yet. Shoulda, coulda,
Oh,
woulda.
let's see, Becca.
So now I got.
You are
Kinda
on.
see You can't. No, you really can't. But I messed up. I did mess up one little spot. It was a little
Oops.
fabric right there, right there. But we're not today. We're not gonna. And then what you do is you cut this stinker out. But you
Or
keep.
just put another piece on there.
I should the heck could. There you go. So you just kind of cut it. There's the stitching that I'm following. You cut it right around there, but you want to leave a little bit. And you can do any shape you want. If you don't like cats because they, scratch up everything and are nasty, not nice things, which they're not. They're not. They stare at you, and I can't imagine what my cats think about me. But, you can make any shape you want. If you like dogs, make a dog. If you like hearts or
Cats just make me sick. So
they do have non-allergenic cats. that don't have, because it's their dander, not them, not their fur,
Yeah.
their dander.
Supposedly it's some chemical in their saliva too. Some people are saying now.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what it is, but it makes
I
me
think
wheeze.
it's just people trying, they don't want cats in their house, and so they use that excuse, is what I think. But what do I know?
Hey, you want to show me a cat? I can show you real wheezing and turning blue.
What's so crazy is I was always allergic to, when I was a kid, always allergic to cats. I, wheezed just like that. And I think it was more ragweed, but what do I, because I'm fine. But that was in Pennsylvania. And down here, I don't seem to have that problem. Okay, so there's my cat. Well, no, it's not the cat. Hold on.
Well, there is a theory that you can be mildly allergic to multiple things, and one thing sets you over.
My sister has been sick for so long. Since she was a kid, she always broke out on her chest, and it always looked like pimples. And she did it, and she found out that almost the whole world is allergic to cockroaches.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that most of the stuff we get has had cockroaches on it. Clothing, food, everything, in warehouses. And so that was kind of interesting. So there's my cat. So now, I mean, that's pretty well.
Oh, that's cool.
You have to put it back. And then I usually try to use a solid on the back. So I would pick a solid that's big enough. I mean, you could do anything. It doesn't have to be a solid. Ooh, what about, oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. So then what I need to cut this out, and then I can sew around it again, or I can whip stitch. This is when you can become real creative with the stitch around them, is how you want to hook this back part on. So here we go. So then, and then he's done. Or if you want to embellish them, I have little tiny, where are they at? I have them in the bottom of this. I like making these. Oh, that's not it.
That'd be a good car project, wouldn't it?
There we go. I have these tiny little buttons. They're not tiny.
Those are cute.
And I use those. I put 2 of those on it, and that's all I usually do. I usually don't put like any facial, but you could do whiskers if you wanted to. Like you could get some sort of maybe plastic, something recycled. Oh, like a plastic bottle cut up. And you could paint it with, you could paint this with ink. And then you could use this as the whiskers so that they're sticking out. There's some recycling. My brain is working, but usually I don't. I usually just gets 2 eyes, and then they're like usually little gifts to people. Only to people that I like. Has anybody in here got one of these from me?
I've never gotten one.
Miriam caught it. I'm just teasing, guys. I'm just teasing.
She doesn't like us, Miriam.
I know.
Okay, I expect a happy mail.
She only tolerates us.
I tolerate you.
She just loves us for our scraps. That's what.
That's right. I'm just trying to get more scraps. That's it. I'm not waiting, hoping somebody.
You want scraps? I'll send you scraps.
No, please, no, please.
Please don't send me any scraps. My scraps have scraps.
I don't want your trash. I have enough on my own.
Right. I have enough trash. Thank you. I get enough stuff in the mail. The last thing that Shannon wants me to do is get more trash in the mail.
Does anyone else have a partner that asks you before they throw something away, do you want this box?
No, actually, I find out. I'm like, where's that box? I had that box in here. And she's like, oh, I threw that away. Or she'll be like, oh, I took that outside. And I'm like, I was saving that box. So she knows to do it when I'm not paying attention. She throws the box. I'm really bad with boxes. I'm like a box.
I had a bunch. I finally gave up a bunch of them.
I don't know why, but I have since forever. I've always had, what if you need a box? What if you need a mailbox? What if you need to pack a box? What if you need to, leave boxes? What if, need to leave in the middle of the night? You need to have boxes.
I'm going to do myself bigger.
So you have to leave in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you never know.
During a fire drill. Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay.
I had a fire drill last week.
Here
Yes,
You
I
I
know,
did.
when
put
I was
Yeah,
in
I
high
did.
school,
you.
they told us that if we were in PE when the fire alarm went off, we should just we were in the shower, we should put our towels over our heads and run out.
Oh, so they don't know whose naked body they're looking
That's
at.
right. Oh my God, the craziest.
Nice.
Plus, can you imagine like 30 girls running around naked with towels over their heads trying to find the exit? You know, it's bad.
Right.
Eddie and Jen said that you don't like them.
Oh.
Jen said, I haven't, Becca. And
No.
Eddie says, you don't like me and laugh.
Yes.
Lisa said, Janice Nas does slow stitch project on Friday. She has even made postcard to send out. Yes.
Well,
So
Janice
I
does a
am
lot of
showing
postage too.
something. I will appreciate if you watch.
Mhm.
This is my bottle with the, you can see because there is a lot of light, but it's light. So
I
you can
like
put
that.
inside or you can put it outside. And this is my, so I used acrylic but a transparent one.
Yeah.
So if you put something inside, now you will see how it, well, wait a minute. I want you to see it. See?
Oh, wow.
Ta-da!
Not a lot, but yes, we
I
can.
love it.
No, when I finally managed to, no, yes, it is. But I think it's not, oh yeah, now it is. But you can put a regular one inside and it will be shine there.
That's brilliant, Miriam.
Thank you.
You're so clever.
Okay. Huh. I
Now, I've
cannot.
never seen anyone turn a vitamin bottle into a candle holder.
Right. It's a vitamin. It's a vitamin
Oh,
bottle.
vitamin? It's a
It's a
vitamin bottle.
vitamin. For me, it's a vitamin.
Vitamin.
Well, I guess we can say that
In
that
matter of fact,
fine.
it's a vitamina.
Vitamina.
Yes,
There you go.
Okay.
vitamina.
Vitamina. At least I
Yeah.
got that. I've been crafting with Mrs. Gigi for years, and I still can't speak Swedish.
Ah, well, maybe Spanish is a little bit better for you.
I did take 2 years in school of Spanish, although I don't remember anything. And I live in Texas. You'd think I'd use it. No.
You can see it now from here. The lid. Okay, so let's put light and someone else. My hands, I cannot touch my computer like that. Sorry.
Use your nose. Use your nose.
Yeah, yeah. As if.
My keyboard wasn't working, and I took it to my daughter, my Bluetooth one. She's like, "Oh, mom, this keyboard." She's like,
My little cat one, it wasn't like 3 days old and I had paint all over it. I was like,
a
it's a,
living cat? You mean?
oh no, see how it's the shape of a cat?
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like a live cat you had paint on.
Well, I had project done. One, I have a white cat, so it's a little bit easier to see. When she was little, she was probably less than a year old. She got into my craft room and she come out with blue paws. She got into my
Oh,
ink refillers and knocked them over. So then she come out with her paws that was all blue.
did she track it all over everywhere?
Actually, she didn't. So I don't, I guess dried pretty quick. I don't know. It wasn't dry. I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm not even quite sure. I mean, it's probably been about 4 years now, but I don't even know like where she got it. I remember going in and being like, "Oh, great." So I don't know if it was like because I used to keep them in like all the little bottles in like a tub, and I don't know if she put her foot I don't know where she got it. It was one of those. There wasn't ink all over my craft room. It was just all over her white paw. And it's
Maybe she
probably
was leaving paw prints.
yeah, it probably if she was a dark color, she was one of my other cats, I probably wouldn't even have noticed that, I wouldn't have noticed the color on her paw. But yeah, she had
She
blue
could
paw.
have made one heck of a mess doing
She
that.
sure could have, and she still loves to come in here. Every day I come in and stuff's knocked down, and I know it's her. I know it is. She's my little
That's one
turd.
thing about cats. They get in everything. I mean,
Everything. Well, certain ones. I have one cat that doesn't get into anything, and I have
but
one
I mean,
cat
they
that
can
only gets.
walk on the counters and
Yeah, we've given up on that. And the crazy thing is, I used to have 9 cats, and they never ever went on my counter. But these little turds that I have now do. Now it's partly we put a catio outside, and the only way they can get to the catio is going up on the counter and through the window. That's the only place I could. So that I can't yell at them for that. But yeah, they I have one cat that though she only bothers you when her bowls are empty, and she bothers the heck out of you.
9 cats is a lot of cats for one
I
person.
used to rescue. Yeah, I used to rescue them. They were all
Brenda,
indoor cats.
I think Brenda said the same thing. She went in middle stream to feed the cat
Mm-hmm.
because she said, if not, I hear her all the time.
Yeah. This morning, Shannon said that she had to get up at 7 because Luna was knocking stuff over, trying to get her to wake up because she could see the bottom of her bowl. And the funny thing is, she makes sure all the cats' bowls, not just her bowl, like if any of the cats' bowls are empty, she like bothers you and she wants you to. And anytime you walk past it, she goes over and checks them and then eats. And I'm like, she's getting so fat.
She
I
eats
don't.
everybody's food.
No, 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 no. She eats out of her bowl, but she checks all the other bowls to make sure that they have food. She makes sure her sisters, have
Just
food.
making sure they don't have anything extra.
Maybe I no. She's
Maybe she's checking to eat from every bowl.
she goes across all of them when we're not looking and eats them. She's like, I'm gonna eat this one and this one. My dog doesn't even touch the cat. He's so good. He doesn't even. He looks at him, but he will not eat out of them. Like he gets real. Like he like looks out at him at the corner of his eye and stuff. Like he knows it's there, but he won't eat out of them. No.
We have a feral cat here that he thinks that he is ours, and he goes inside the house when we are not looking and eat from the bowl of my dogs.
Oh, he's not dumb. He's like, I'm hungry. This is
Yes.
food.
What do
And
the dogs think of that, Miriam?
well, if they find out, they start to chase like this. They are not friendly.
They're not real happy with the cat.
No, they are not cat friendly either.
The only cat I had was an outside cat, obviously, because I was allergic to it. But the only time she would want to come inside is when she was about to have a litter of kittens. And she'd come inside and she'd find a place. She'd deliver those babies and we left her alone. And then after a couple of days, she'd haul them outside. And then one time she came up to the sliding glass door with a kitten in her mouth.
Oh, like so I want to bring them in.
Yeah, well, we were afraid there might be something wrong. So we opened the door. She came in. She stared at our poodle in the eyes, dropped the kitten in front of him, walked back out, got another one, and brought in all 4 kittens and left them with him while she went out running around.
Oh, let the poodle babysit. Here, yes. I'm going to the bar. You got to take care of the kids.
And the poor dog was so neurotic trying to keep these kittens all together. It was so funny to watch. He was like, trying to get him with his paws and keep him in a huddle.
She probably told them that they were the father. And they believed it. And they believed it.
Baby says, I usually wake up to 3 cats staring at me and tapping myself to wake me up.
Oh, yeah. That sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right.
Beth, what are you going to buy in your books?
What?
I think it's a typo.
Oh,
What are you
what are you
going
going to buy? Oh,
to buy?
put in my books. My
I think
book.
it's food.
Uh,
Yes.
well, this is going. I haven't gotten that far, Jennifer. What do you think I should put in my books? I'm going to have a pretty page, and then I'm going to have a blank page, so I can maybe paint or glue or do mixed media art.
You could put a picture of me.
Yeah, I
You
can
could
get
do that.
pictures of all
Yeah.
my friends, and it would just be one. It would just be just Becky. I can put her on the front.
Make sure mine's the biggest.
You'll be the only one.
Yeah.
You're my only friend.
I'm your only friend. Aw.
Is she your only friend or the only one you like?
She's the only one that'll put up with me.
Hmm.
Hi,
Yeah, I'm
kid.
using my
I,
scraps to make things.
one day, with all my dogs hate cats, one day we found a cat that someone throw it in a
Oh,
box.
Oh.
And it was, I think, 1 or 2 days old.
oh,
And we consulted with some friend that she knew about it, and she said us how to do it. He didn't survive more than 24 hours, but
oh.
the thing that was really well, we tried. We gave her or him, I don't know, uh, one more day to live.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that one of my dogs, with all she hates kittens, she started to lick their tummy.
Oh,
Oh.
You know, that's the only way that little cats and dogs survive. They can go only if you lick the tummy.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
To
But
comfort
like you
them.
use like a you use when if you're rescuing and you're human, don't lick their.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
No, no,
You,
no, no.
you can use
What you do is you get a wet wash rag, and
yes.
so it's like a
That's,
tongue, and you
that's perfect.
and
That
it,
that's what I wanted to do. And then my dog stepped up
how
and she
sweet.
did that. And it was
Yeah.
so unusual and so good.
Well,
Yes.
you showed that baby love too before.
Does
Yes.
it does that stimulate their breathing or something?
It's to
No.
make them to go potty. It
Oh.
stimulates that they can't do that. That's why mama cats, you'll see them always licking their bottom and stuff to help them go pee and
Yes.
poop.
So
Hmm.
that's why
Oh.
they stick their leg up in the air like that.
Here, lick my butt.
You people don't lick your kittens.
It's kind of like when the kids are potty training, humans are potty training, they scream, "Mom, I'm done." You go
I
and
thought
check
you were
your
going to tell
mom.
me you rubbed your
Anything
kids' bottoms or
different.
something.
No.
And then when he was little, you lick him.
Oh.
Why are you comparing that?
It just was funny. I don't know.
Let's get on this subject.
I know, right? No bum licking. No bum licking.
Who
All
my
the time.
kid?
Every time I'm on a channel, it always turns. I think it's me. I think it's me.
You
You
think?
you you know that every time I had when my kids were little, I had every new age thing about how to do with kids.
Mm,
I was reading and doing
right.
like
What
young
the
mother.
book says, or what the yeah. Uh huh.
And once I read that little kids cannot fabricate their own acids to do the like all the systems to work properly. So you needed to do like birds do, that they first chew the the meals, and then they give them half chew meal.
Regurgitated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So I
that's what
did that.
blenders are for.
Poor my kids. Poor my kids. I did that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I've seen people chew their food a little bit before they give it to the kids.
I know my mom used to. I remember watching my mom do it for my sister, especially
Yeah.
like when they're eating something new, like a newer food or something. I remember my mom doing
They're
that.
not they're
But
not
I
very
always
Didn't
thought
you have a
swollen.
blender?
I know I thought that was always
The
very.
blender doesn't add your acid, the
Oh, okay.
saliva. The saliva is what first decompose that.
Ah, okay. Now, was this a French book? Because that sounds like something the French.
It's a French
Could
book.
be. If they eat escargots, they can chew their
Oh,
food.
gee.
If there's anybody French in chat, I'm sorry. It was just a
Sorry,
silly.
sorry,
I
really,
could have picked
really.
any country. I just that was the
Yes,
one.
yes. I'm so sorry. I did that too. Right.
Oh, that's weird. That's one I've never heard of.
I'm sure you know what. Back in the day, I bet that think about it. Back there wasn't blenders in the 1899 or whatever. I don't know when blenders were fine. So I
Right.
can see
No,
people's
no.
moms doing that.
They have mortars.
Yeah, I
Well,
was gonna
so
say.
well, they didn't carry mortars around. You
Well,
know,
they
you
also didn't feed baby
They
solids very
they
early
didn't feed
either.
well,
around.
that's true. Yeah, they just
Okay,
let the baby chew on it, right?
Sorry,
while you
sorry.
guys are talking,
Yeah, best
can
like
I
let's get back to
can I
art.
show you my books? I got
Okay,
my
please. Let's go to Beth.
Beth has a chunky book. I love
I
chunky.
have my
Oh, yes.
original chunky book that
What?
I made with Marie Jenkins,
Very nice.
Lori Marie Jenkins. She is an artist that lives out in California and she moved to Costa Rica, but I don't know, but she might be back in California, don't know. But she goes back and forth. But anyway, she is a wonderful artist and she has a wonderful community in her when she was living in California and she had um, a place in the village where she lived, uh, a community room where people could come in and work on projects, and she would,
Mm.
I
and they
want
could take.
that.
It was really cool. I've never been to her workshop or anything, but anyway, she started me with this Coptic stitch thing, and she did it the right way. Okay, now I showed
Mhm.
you a way. I showed you Beth's way, and now I'm going to show you what she did. And this is the much better version of the back of the spine. And you see how pretty of a braid? That's more like a serpentine
Mm, that
braid.
is
I
pretty.
thought you told us you were doing it the correct way this time.
Well, I lied.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
stand corrected, but I did create a pretty cool stitch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but to make myself correct, politically correct, this is the correct way. And but
It
your
Ah,
looks like
art,
a braid. Like it
right,
looks
it
like
Mm.
it
a
really
hair
does,
braid.
but it opens up flat on the inside. Now now
Hmm.
the only thing I want to say is your art is your art. So there
Mhm.
is no wrong in your art. So if you do it a different way, that's your art and it's okay. So you
Mhm.
don't have to do it exactly like that, but I did it backwards when I did this. I did something backwards, but that's okay. But you can also look up Lori Marie Jenkins. These are made out of a deck of cards,
Mhm.
and she's the one who turned me on to this. And it is a little mix match glue book, and it has a couple of windows in it, like here. And then when you cut the window out, you turn it into a tag so you don't throw anything away. And I used all kinds of little gift magazines, catalogs, anything that had stickers, ephemera, you name it, it's in here. I've got a flat back or Brad. That's a Brad. And then, of course, I like to use little words and I ink the edges. And there's like 20 different things you can do to steps in doing this. And
Yeah.
Rebecca has a list of the steps.
And
But
I now make those and I call them my chunky books because I learned it from Beth. I watched Beth
yeah.
make one years ago. And so now I call them my chunky books. Do I have them?
So this is the original chunky book that I made, and it's wonderful, and it fits so good in my hands, and it's so chunky. It's
And this
just
Sal may
so
make as
fun.
well.
And
Hmm.
so you can do tassels on your back of your spine. You could do beads. If you want to sew individual seed beads on the back of this, you could do it whip stitch by hand, or you can do it while you're stitching your book. You could do it at the same time if you're up to that challenge. And just to show you a few other Coptic stitches, here's another chunky book that I did with Becca. This is the one she's referring to, and it's made with coasters from your when you go to the bar, beverage coasters.
Oh, I
And if
don't
you
know.
Beth goes to the bar quite often, as you can see.
just
Yeah,
for the coasters, I just go for the
that's what I
coasters.
wanted to
And
say.
and this particular one is done as an example of a variations. This one's done with a single thread. This one's done, I'm not sure, haphazardly. And then this
That
one's
that
done
one's
pretty,
probably the Becca stitch right there.
yeah. And then this is another one that I did really nice on, and look how consistent. You just do the same. If you do the same pattern, it'll be consistent. And then another single stitch. But this is like doing two or three at a time. I think several threads at a time. But but it just goes to show you there's no right or wrong. And then you can just, you braid them up and you make sometimes you want them to look wonky and sometimes you don't. And this
It
one's a
holds the book
wonky.
together, so then it's right.
Yeah, and I love it this way. And now here's another one that I did, and it looks really good. And it's got the serpentine braid, and it's done with jute. It's done with the rope string cordage. And this particular book is done with kind of the way Miriam, when she gets finished with her cardboard round things from her expensive paper that she uses, you can make a toilet paper book. And this is made out of toilet paper
Mm.
or paper towel rolls. And
You
I made a tag book
want one?
out of it. And I got this off the internet. I didn't make it up. And but I did the Coptic stitch and I put tags in each one, and it's a fun book. This is a fun book. And I used a lot of leather on it, and and I had a lot of fun doing this one.
Oh yeah, someone sent me one of those as like a gift, as like a
Okay.
yeah, I have one
And
somewhere.
it's a toilet paper tag book, and I had so much fun doing it, and just making it up as you go. But it
I don't
has
know who did it.
the original Coptic stitch on it. And then this little book here is another binding that I did, just a regular binding. And then I can do cordage. I can show you how to make this twisted cord without coming apart. Um, if you anybody
Oh,
knows anything about bow and arrow, if anybody does any archery, the bowstring on the bow, the string is done like this. It's a twisted cord. And I watched a man in England on the internet. I watched a man make this cordage for the bow and arrow, the bow. And I have my daddy's bow, and I wanted to learn how to make it. Well, I've been doing it on the back of my spine of my books. I love this cordage. You can make this twisted cordage. It's easy and fun to do.
I have
But
a big old roll that I made with fabric. I made cord out of fabric scraps.
yeah, and this is another book that I've done, and it's got the twisted cordage on it. And I made it. And you can buy it. You can buy it already made, but I can show you how to make it as well. And it's so cute. I love it. I love it because I made it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. It's something that I love. But I love to put tassels and beads on the ends of my books. And it's real popular. And here's a little book that I've got some tassel strings on. And this little book here, I've done some slow stitching on, a little bit of slow stitching there, and I did some hugs, and then I did some beads over here, and I think this was inspired by Becca. uh she inspired me to do a little bit of slow stitching is when I did that, and that's as far as I got on the book, but I did do it. So but the chunky book is the main book today. And if anybody wants directions on the Chunky book, we come over to my room and my channel sometime, and we'll sit down and make you a list of what to do first and second and third.
Oh, wait a second. I have that list. You better give it
Becca's
back.
got the list. She's got the list,
I
and
lose it. I lose it at least once a year. But
I've got a picture of it, so we don't have to worry about her losing it again. But it's fun, and it's easy. It's fun. And it'd be
The
great for
famous
any of
last
the kids.
words.
If you
It's
got any
easy.
kids, this would be a great project for your kids to do. And all you need is an old deck of cards. And here's the newest one I'm going to get ready to do, and it's on circle coasters from the bar. And I painted them and got the first layer on them, and now I've got my holes in them, and I'm going to do 5 Coptic stitches on this little book. So stay tuned. There's more to come in the future.
Okay. Do you go to the bar that often, or do you just have the friends that do bring you
Well,
coasters?
when we go out to eat, and they put them on your table to keep the wetness, and I say, "Excuse me, but could I have a few extras of those?" And she goes,
Goodbye,
I said,
Eddie.
"I do
Eddie's
arts and crafts."
leaving.
"Oh, you do?" She goes, "Oh, here, let me go get you." Well, what it is the people that the alcohol people, they send these free to the restaurants because it's got their advertisement on it.
Mm.
So they get them for free.
oh, not the people, not the alcoholics, the alcohol people. See how there's a difference
Just
there?
the posters are free, not the alcohol.
Alcohol vendors.
But
Yes.
every now and then I do have me a fruit, some kind of a fruity fun drink to eat whenever I go out sometimes. But I don't drink anymore. I used to drink like a fish, but I don't anymore. My medicine won't allow me to have alcohol.
I
But
Goodbye,
want to
Eddie, if
show
you haven't
you.
already left.
I'm reformed.
I want to show you something. A minute.
Thank you. I'm done.
No, it's okay because I want to come back to the chat. See, that's
Oh, that's
my
pretty.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Oh, did you
See?
just do that, or is that something?
Yes, is what I did. I put some light on it.
That
Yep.
Oh,
is
it's so pretty.
gorgeous. You work fast.
Those are the bottles that I did, and I put some electronic and not electronic ones, real ones. This one have inside and out, so you can put two uh, candles. Yep. Okay. Let's go to the chat again. And who wants to show his pieces?
I'm almost done. I have to get my last sewn on the eye.
Talk about putting a needle in your eye.
Eddie says his archery equipment is in storage. Got a run, ladies. Thanks for all the fun. Thank you, Eddie, for being here. Thank you so much.
Okay, Eddie. But but
Oh, Chris is here. Hi, Chris. How are you? So, Chris have the internet in now because it's going in and out. Lisa said, put in a file on computer called Lost and Found. Then you know where it is.
That's a good idea.
I have medication that say, do not consume. Great work, Miriam. Thank you, Lisa. And I have a problem every time they give me some bottle with liquid medicine, because it
Oh,
says agitate before drink. So I start to run. Okay, yes, it's a that joke and very old. Sorry, but you know, at least you need to think that it's very difficult for me to translate the dad jokes from Spanish. So give me some credit.
Oh, okay. Because I watched a video.
Okay, so let's go down. Who is now? Let's put some on time.
Oh, okay. I'm using up my last scraps here.
Oh, yeah.
I have made a tag and a little card and another little tag and another little card and a little tag. And now I'm making a hidden paper clip because why not, right?
Yes,
Right.
of course.
Why not?
Why not? That's what
That's
I
the
say.
best reason
You
right
did,
there.
you did well.
Every time I do it, I have to rethink how to do it though.
Uh,
So I was going to show you something else. So I found this, I've had forever this roll of, this yucky brown
Oh,
tape for painting. It doesn't work very well. So I put it down here and I'm going to stamp it or do something with it.
oh,
And it would be another type of washi tape. See, it's just sticky on one side though, so you'd have to glue it one edge.
yes.
But I have a big roll of it, a rather big roll.
may as well
You,
use it.
you
Yeah.
can use this, and it's for the when you are hurt. This is medical tape.
Oh yeah. I've done that.
It
The
works
first aid
so
tape.
good. Yes, it works so good.
Silk tape, silk medical tape works the best, I think.
What
The
is it?
It's a fabric tape. People that are
Ah,
very
yes, yes,
sensitive
the
use it.
old ones.
Hmm?
The old ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
bought something. I don't know yet what I am going to do with that. Certainly not what we are talking, but I bought some this. This is what they use when you break a leg and they
Uh-huh.
do a cast. This is
Yes.
to do cast. So I think I am going to use it somehow in a sculpture.
There's a tape called Coflex tape that you can print on. It was originally used on horses, but now
Oh,
they use it on people too. And it's cheaper at the pet store.
okay.
And it's got like a fabric type thing and it sticks to itself. So if you want to stick it to something
Ah,
else, you need to use some
Anne
glue.
Lad is here. Sorry. Hi, Anne.
Oh,
How are
hi,
you?
Anne. The other Anne. The two Anns are here now.
Hi, Anne. Long time no see.
Ann will be on tonight about 5 o'clock.
Sunday nights.
Sunday evening at 5.
She does a good show.
Okay.
She does.
Someone is streaming today yet?
And Laura is, yes,
Anne.
usually.
Okay.
Not me.
Oh.
The other Ann.
Yeah,
The
the other
other
Ann.
Anne.
Usually
Chris.
I'm the other Ann. Now she gets to be the other Ann.
Can you put
Do you
the
say your names the same way?
please put
No.
Anne Lad.
Ann Lair and Ann Lover.
Lawver, yeah. There you
Lover.
go. Very good.
Okay. I'm gonna have to figure that
But I get confused and call them the same, Beth. So I was just being smarty pants right now.
Okay, my paper's falling apart here. I gotta start over. Well, that's weird. I've never had that happen before. But you know what? That's why we have trash cans, right?
That's right.
When it doesn't go well, you just throw it in the trash.
Well, it came from trash, so
So,
Trash is trash.
right?
you had your good time. That's it.
You
Nothing
take your
else.
time.
You had your chance paper and you blew it. So you're done.
Yes, yes.
You're out of here. So now let's see if I can remember how to make a hidden paper clip. It only takes me about 4 tries to remember. Oh, I remembered I made some bases too. I have those. Do I remember it when I need it? No.
You can fold, yes, fold
Stickers
it
are easy to
down
do
and
with
fold it
it.
down, and that's it.
That's it. Yep, I gotta get my paper clip back. I'm gonna save my paper clip. No, I'm not. It's
Thank you, Chris. Chris put Anlar channel, so you all can go.
Ann Lars, the Ann with a channel. That's how you can remember it. I accidentally found out I have one, but I don't use it.
Yeah. Well, if you are on YouTube, you have one.
I didn't
It
know that for a
automatically
long
sets you.
time.
Yeah, it automatically sets it up. Even you just don't have anything there.
That's the
you.
story of my life. I don't have anything there.
Yeah.
But I am going to figure out how to do a private one because my husband read some storybooks for the grandkids and I still haven't done that. So how to make it private, you know,
Oh
where
yeah,
only.
when you upload it, when you go to upload, you'll have an option,
Uh-huh.
and then you just save it as you upload it as private. You might have to upload it first and then go into your settings and change it in your studio, but it's not hard to make them private, and then only
No,
people that have
you can do it when you do that.
Well,
while
let
you're
us.
doing
Maybe
it.
we want to hear the story.
Well,
I want to hear the story.
you want him to
That's
read Sesame
lovely.
Street books to you too?
Yeah.
I know, but I don't know about the legalities of that, you know?
I
Reading.
want to know.
You're fine because you're as long as you're making it it's coming from your mouth, like it's not someone else that's doing it.
Yeah. If
And
it's private, I know
you're
it's
not
fine,
getting
but
paid, you're not making anything on it, so it won't, even if they did copyright strike you, nothing's going to hurt because you're not making any money on it. But
it's
if
a
you were
public
to ever
broadcast.
if you were to ever make money on your channel, then anything that you would make on those videos that have the copyright in it, that money would go to the person that copyrighted it.
Yeah.
Does that make
sounds
sense?
fair.
Yeah.
Copyright is very tricky.
And Lar congratulates you, Beth, on your 1,000 subscribers.
Thank you, Anne. And
Yeah.
YouTube
Congratulations.
is keep taking a few of them away. So if there's anybody that hasn't subscribed, please subscribe to me and leave a comment in one of the videos. And I have a bunch of live videos. When you first bring my page up, it has some downloaded videos, which is like 6. Well, all my videos are live. I need to download some of them.
Doesn't
But
it save them automatically?
yes, but it's under a tab, and you have to click the live tab to look at
Okay,
all the live videos.
Lisa is going, sorry, and she said, thank you for a lovely, entertaining stream.
Oh,
Thank
bye,
you.
Lisa. Okay, now I can let it dry, I think. I'm separating them so they dry. Well, that'll be my... I've almost used up every scrap. Look, this
Make
is
sure
what I
you do
have
that, or
left.
else it looks like this. They all stick together, and then you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure they dry. This is what not to do. Remember how we were talking about that, ladies?
Yeah.
And any gentlemen out there? This is what not to do. See what happens when you don't let it dry enough?
Oh. They stick together.
Yeah.
Glue's funny like that, isn't it?
Because they are good friends and they stick together.
Like glue.
Like glue.
I guess I'll have to learn how to make that private now that he did the work, though. I'll do it
Okay, let's
someday.
do like that.
All right.
Let's do like
Wow.
that. Okay.
I wonder if I could use up every single scrap.
Wow.
Sounds
That
like a
would be a
challenge.
challenge, wouldn't it?
That's a challenge. Do it. Do
Do it.
it. Do it.
On here, listen to this.
Look at my fingers, though. I have glue all over them like a third grader.
Like in a frat house when you have the beer. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it. Chug it, chug it, chug, chug, chug.
Miriam, how many frat houses have you been in? You sound awfully comfortable with it.
You see, I know a lot.
A lot. Oh, she wasn't a member. She was just in all of the frat
Yeah,
houses.
she just had friends
Whenever I heard
in low
party
places.
here, I went.
Party.
Yes.
I'm trying to
Sorry.
think if I've ever been in a frat house. I don't think I have.
You don't know about my past.
Past is in the past, Miriam. We keep it there.
We're just gonna leave it there. That's right.
It just makes it
Happened in the
makes us
frat
who,
house stays in the frat house.
that's right. It makes us who we are, but we don't have to bring it with us.
Isn't that funny though when you meet somebody midlife and you're like, you have no idea. what's
No
going
idea.
on.
They were in prison, nothing. I met some
No.
guy that I recently as an adult, like and I was talking to him and it came out. I don't even remember, but it came out that he was in prison for 8 years, and I was like, huh, okay. And I was like, well, that's your past. I I don't know what he did. Now I think about it, I'm like, I really wish I knew more, like what he was in prison for. I'm letting him just come into my garage and get whatever he needs, and
Yeah, maybe you want to know.
yeah.
You could Google him and find
all
out.
make
probably.
mistakes.
Well, I don't. He just has a nickname. I just know him by his nickname. I don't even know his real name.
We all make mistakes. We just don't all get caught.
I don't even know if
He was over here. Him and the neighbor. He was a friend of the. He's a friend of the neighbors, and they're the ones that were redoing my ramp out front. So.
Gonna say next time they're coming over, maybe we should do a well check on you.
Right. Can I get your fingerprint?
Yeah.
Before you
Excuse me, but
before you work on my ramp, can I get your fingerprint?
I don't know. We have so much trouble here getting people to work on things. It's
everywhere. It's everywhere. My sister's in Pennsylvania. It took her 2.5 years to get her bathroom remodeled because people would come in and just stop showing up. And then she hired a friend of a friend because she was like, I just need someone to come in here and, do the plumbing or whatever it was, the wall painting. I can't remember. And they came in and would only come in like an hour for a day, a week. And it was crazy. Then she hired someone. She even went through Home Depot and hired somebody through the Home Depot thinking, oh, well, they're employed, through that didn't work out. They were doing crappy jobs. She had a heck of a time. 2.5 years it took.
Wow.
Yeah, because I went up every summer and it was 2.5 years and steps because she wanted to add steps too. So that was part of the project. But
I thought ours was bad.
It was crazy. And I need somebody to come here. I've lived in this house 8 years and trying to get somebody to come and do my kitchen is I can't get anyone. They come and either their bid is way too high or they aren't interested because there's so many houses being built here. They're getting more money doing that than coming and doing projects.
Yeah, we had some guy put in new windows in the front of our house, just thankfully only on the first level. And he said, oh, you've got carpenter ants. We got to build this out with new stuff. I was like, oh, okay, fine. Turns out he just ordered the wrong size windows.
Oh, jeez.
Huh.
And it's not that much of a difference that I hope nobody ever notices it.
Now we know.
Yeah.
Well, if he did a good job building it out, it's probably not that big of a deal, as long as he did a good job,
No, probably not. I don't know. He left a mess behind him, and it turned out he was a con and blah blah blah.
Oh, nice, yeah.
But when we go to sell, thankfully the HOA hasn't figured it out, so that's okay. But when we go to sell, they might notice it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just won't sell till it's time to go to another plane of existence or something.
There you go. Leave that with your art room.
Yeah.
You can always want.
Oh, it's the art room and the sewing studio and the fabric warehouse
Well,
in the
yes,
basement.
yeah.
It's everything. Yeah. Oh, hello, Brenda. Brenda's joined us.
Hey, it's
Hi,
Brenda
Brenda. How are
with
you?
the friends in the pasture. I won't say it on Miriam's channel.
What?
She has
What?
donkeys. She has donkeys. It's an inside joke. It probably drives her nuts, but I still do it. Right, Brenda? But she knows I love her. She's
Right.
probably gonna drown me when I come to visit her.
Mm.
She's gonna take my wheelchair and wheel me down to the lake and just throw me in.
Where do you live, Becca?
Central Texas.
Oh, that's
But
right.
I'm hoping to visit everybody this summer. Brenda's on my list and
Are
Beth.
you going to come to me?
Yes, I'm gonna bring my car right over there and visit you. You and Mrs. Gigi. I'm gonna just drive it over. I drive to Pennsylvania. That's where my family is. So I drive to Pennsylvania every summer and do and stay up there about 6 weeks. But
Wow.
I've been for years talking about on my trip, I want to visit everyone. Well, my trips are probably going to kind of stop because I used to do it. Well, I do it for myself to see my family, but I'll probably keep going. My grandparents are 93, so I go up there to see them. They're like my main, and my son, graduated high school, but he always, used to go with me, but he's, going to start working. Hopefully, my fingers are crossed. He'll start working someday and he won't be able to, drive with me. And I'm starting to get older to where I probably shouldn't be doing that, drive by myself.
What part of Pennsylvania you're going to go to?
Pittsburgh is some of my family, and then northwestern up near area, about an hour away from areas where the rest of my family is.
I have a son that lives in Pittsburgh now.
I think you said that.
Yeah, in a suburb.
Yeah, suburb. Yeah, no, yeah.
Hopefully, we're going up there next weekend.
Oh, nice.
We're
Enjoy
like 3.5
yourself.
hours away. So,
where are you at?
Northern Virginia.
Oh, well, Virginia. I usually don't go through. Well, I might, because I have a friend that's in right where Beth used to live. I have a friend that lives up in that area too. These are all my internet friends that I would like to make a little map and try and stop and see. I'd like to, even if it's just a coffee or dinner or, dinner before I stay in a hotel that night.
Like a drive-by shooting.
Yeah, Beth's house, I'm literally just going to throw something at her when I'm driving by. So I'm going to have a painted rock and I'm going to give it to my son and say, here, throw this at this house right here.
Okay, never mind. You don't need to.
And you're going to put Love Becca on it, right?
Heck yeah.
I was going to say you can come visit me, but not if you're going to throw rocks. Oh yeah.
I'll make a cat. I'll throw this. It's light.
Okay, that'd be fine.
But Beth gets the rock.
Not a cat, not a rock. Yeah, through my windows that don't fit.
I have a rock garden. It's okay. I have a rock garden.
Oh, there you go. See? It was on purpose.
But maybe if you did throw a rock, the insurance would pay for new windows.
There you go. Just I have to get all the windows that he replaced.
Yeah, you'd have to hit 4 windows.
Okay.
Just let me know when you're coming, and I'll just lower the hurricane window. The hurricane.
Okay. Nice.
Then the rock will fly back at you and hit your windshield.
Right.
Ooh.
Not funny.
I know. I can think these things through, though. I'm very good at thinking out the worst case scenario.
Oh, yeah.
That's what my husband calls me, worst case scenario woman.
What ifs.
But you know what? Then I prepare for the what if, and I'm all good.
That's right. I agree.
So if I know you're in the area, I'm going to watch out.
Note to self, don't put my plans online.
Yeah.
If you stop by my house, Joe will service your car for you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I live in Florida.
Oh, Louisville, Kentucky.
I used to live in Kentucky, but I'm in Florida now.
Hi.
Yeah, my trip is gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go east, and then I have to decide if I'm going east and then up, or up, down, and then over. Probably down, and I don't know, something. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. Plus, I have to think: can I afford the hotel? Hotel rooms. Although I do have some places along the way that's free. So it wouldn't be. Might be adding 1 or 2 extra nights probably to a hotel.
Hotels are
But
expensive anymore.
oh, tell me about it. Well, thank goodness I have a hybrid. I have a Prius, so my gas has never been an issue. But hotels have at least doubled in price since I started doing this. Like the
Wow.
one place I used to go to was $100 a night, and now it's like 180. And
Yeah.
I can't go there no more. It's like I can't stay at this place. I went to Howard Johnson's across the street. No, what is it? Hampton. I went to the Hampton Inn that was across the street.
Yeah, it's gotten terrible.
Becca,
Yes,
Shannon,
and you were on my list. You're on
don't
my list.
forget to come to Cali to come visit me if you are going to come visiting. Lord.
I don't know.
Maritza is here. Hi, Maritza.
Hola.
Hello, Maritza.
And I did my lamp with a cover
I don't know what I'm doing here.
here.
I did it wrong again.
My cover.
I'm going to give up on the stupid paperclip. I got one done. That's good enough.
Let's see.
I'll just stick it on the side of a page and call it done.
Just tie a little piece of fabric on top of it and call it done.
Okay.
Make a flag.
I'm going to make a page tab because that's what I'm going to do. And then it'll make sense that one side of the pages are shorter than the other. One thing won't work, just do something else, right? So here we go. It's going to be a page tab. I think I'll put it on this one's pretty. No, I don't know. This one. There we go.
And Lars says, you should at Beth, Dana, and I could meet up with all.
Yeah, Anne is only
they-
just an hour and a half from me.
Yeah, it would be like Beth, Ann, and Dana. They're like all right there in that area. So.
Oh, yeah.
We'll keep you in the loop, Anne.
No one on these surroundings.
Poor Miriam.
I know, right?
Yeah. And I have a visa and all to go to visit.
Well,
Now,
then come on.
when I had the money, I didn't have the visa. Now I have the visa and I didn't have I don't have the money.
Yeah, that's how it works. That's how life works.
But the visa, it's for 10 years. So I think that someday I will.
Yeah, save up those pennies. In 10 years, we'll get you over here.
Yeah.
You know enough people, we could put you up in places. My house is wheelchair accessible, so there you go.
Oh, yeah.
You can always stay with me.
I can walk a little, so well, I don't know now because tomorrow I will do an X-ray of my hips because it seems that I have a little break on this side.
You have a broken hip?
Fracture.
I don't know. They said or the hips or in the column even. And I said, but if I have that, I cannot walk. And the doctor says, no, there are a lot of people that walk with that. Oh, yeah. Because I have a pain that doesn't receive, even with all the pain medication that I am taking. So, yeah.
Well, our house, I don't think it's completely wheelchair accessible, but we have a chairlift to get upstairs. So
oh,
wow.
Well, the main floor you can get around in a wheelchair because I did it. So, but to go upstairs,
Usually the bathrooms. I
What?
have to always, usually the bathroom. I don't need anything real special. That's the one nice thing. It's usually I just need usually a picture. I just need a picture of the doorway into your bathroom and then the measurements, and I can tell you if I could use your bathroom or not.
Hmm.
Yes.
When my mom was
Measurement.
here, she was in a wheelchair and she could go to the door of the bathroom, and then but she could use a walker to get the rest of the
Yeah.
way.
Was it like a hospital wheelchair? They're usually a lot more chunky. My wheelchair's real tight and like it's fit to me. So,
Oh, it's a
it's not like a big old chunky
yeah.
wheelchair. That's not, this is, so I can get through most doors. When I first moved down here to Texas, I didn't know my rental was literally just a regular old house. And before we rented it, I said, I need the picture of the doorway going into the bathroom and how it's set up and then the measurement. He sent it to me and I said, okay, let me sign the rent. And I was able to live there. We lived there for a year and I had no problems getting in and I didn't even scuff up the bathroom door.
Now our bathroom upstairs, we put a barn door on,
Oh yeah. That's
so
what
it's
I see. I
it's
have a
more
lot of my doors
accessible.
taken off. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah. We
just
had our
cut the doors
bathroom
off.
redone and had the tub taken out and a walk-in shower.
Mm-hmm.
Not a roll-in, but it's a step
Yeah.
in.
Mine's not
So
a roll-in either. It's just I transfer onto a bench.
yeah, yeah. When I had a broken back and when I had open heart surgery and when I broke my foot, I had to use a transfer bench for the shower
Mm.
because the back and the ankle and foot were all done at the same time. Because if you're gonna
Yeah.
break something, just break lots of
Just may
stuff.
do it all together. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
That's my,
figured. It's one
that's what
hospitalization.
the lady I call mom when she broke both feet at both times and is like, what the
Oh,
heck, mom? It's like,
oh, I luckily only did one foot and ankle. So, oh my goodness, Brenda, she walked around for a week with a broken back.
ay, ay, ay.
Wow. Yes, that's good.
Mine hurt. It was.
So tomorrow I will know
She's
how much ramp I need to visit you.
ladies, I need to get off here. I need to scoot, but I want to thank
That's
you. I'm
good.
sorry I was late,
Thank
but I
you
made it.
so much, Becca. Let's
Yes,
put
ma'am.
you.
We forgive you, Becca, for being late.
Forgive me for sleeping. I think I finally fell asleep at like 4, and then I was up at 6, and then I think I
Mm.
fell back to sleep and woke up. Oh, here's my
Let's
kid.
see your cat. Oh, it's so
Oh, look at
cute.
that.
Just a little, fun. You can do anything. You can sew a little string and hang it on something, or you could stick it in one of your books. You can glue them down. You can put them on a paper clip.
Yes, that's what I was
The paper
thinking.
clip. There you go.
You're
Don't talk
hidden.
about paper clips.
So
We don't want
thank
to
you
talk about paper clips.
all. Thank you so very much for letting me come on and hang out with you guys. And thanks,
Thank
chat,
you,
for being
Becca.
here. I'll
Thank
see you guys
you.
later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Becca.
Bye.
We have been here a while, haven't we?
Okay,
Think
let's see. Beth,
Okay. I'm just
are
finishing
you
up.
still flowing your cup tips?
I have started on the second hole over here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue the pattern that I have over here, even though it's not the original true Coptic stitch. This is a Coptic stitch wannabe. But whatever pattern you start with, just continue to do it, and doesn't matter because it still looks good. It'll still
Mm.
look good. So my book is coming along great. I'm loving it. Every page will open up flat
Oh, great.
like that. So you can glue all the way to the edge. And I don't know yet what I'm going to do with this book. I just came up with it this morning, trash to treasure. Some extra paper that I had laying around. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. So I said, I'll just make a book.
Oh,
So this will be a
perfect.
summer book to work on this summer. And I may do little tiny paintings, and
Uh-huh.
then I can maybe glue on this side and
Yes.
do a little combo. So
Oh,
it'll
perfect.
be cute. It'll be cute.
it's so
Coptic
pretty.
stitch.
Oh, Brenda, I walk around with broken back for a week before pain got so bad I had to go to ER. I heard some and was numb too. When numbness let up, pain got worse. Oh,
Ugh.
Brenda, I'm sorry. I am taking so much pain relief medicines that I think that if I felt the the pain, it's because it's really a pain. What's
Uh-huh.
that, Beth?
This is
Oh,
my original Coptic book that I
yes,
did out of a
yes.
deck of cards, and it's kind of like this book with the stitching.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the original Coptic stitch with the
Oh, yes.
serpentine braid in the back. But
Mm.
like I said, there's no right or wrong, but you can see it opens flat and none of the pages rip.
Wow,
It
perfect.
it's cute.
I love the tag that is was hanging there, the little tag hanging.
This one's not going to be as clacky as that, but
Yes.
this book will be a little art journal that I will work on this summer. So stay tuned.
Mm.
Come back and see me, and you'll see what I get to do in it. We'll do it together.
Perfect, Beth. Let's see. Hi.
And thank you, Miriam. I'm going to have to scoot too. Thank you,
Okay, Beth.
Anne. Good to see you.
Thank you, Beth.
Bye,
I
Beth.
like your
Thank
And
you
book.
so much.
and, and everybody in the chat. I can only sit for about 3 hours, and my back tells me get
Oh,
off of that chair.
yes.
So
I'm sitting since 2:30 in the
yeah.
afternoon, and now it's here almost 10.
Time to go to bed, Miriam.
I think so.
So I'll see you guys. I'll be back on Tuesday night, and I'll see you over at Ann's tonight at 5.
Bye.
The
Thank you
other
so
Ann.
much. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Beth.
Bye. Everybody
Thank
be well and happy.
you.
Oh, I don't know where I am. Bye.
Bye, Anne. You are going
Bye.
to?
Yes.
So I am going to.
You go to bed now.
I'm going to bed, yes.
I'm going to go so
So
you go to bed.
thank you so much, all of you in the chat, in the stream, and see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. EST. And I am streaming with Diane from Serenity. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Anne.